This week, we look at the festive beach town of Newport, Oregon, where the secrets of a brutal murder were kept hidden for years. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Yay indeed, Jimmy. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmy Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us.
It's been a rough week, man.
Thank you, guys. It's been a crazy week. We're recording the day of January 30th, or December 30th,
Right.
the day before New Year's Eve, so we're all recovering from holidays and everything else out there. Thank you, folks, so much. Hope you enjoyed last week and over the holidays.
I sure in the hell did.
We don't believe in weeks off.
No.
A lot of your podcasts, you might notice, you're like, where are they last week? Because they didn't appear, because they took the week off. And we don't do that.
No.
Sorry. We know that a lot of you won't listen that week because you're doing other things, and that's fine. But some of you are going to need it. Some of you are going to need it more than ever. And we're going to be there for you.
Because you got Grandma in the house.
That's right, because you got Grandma, and my grandmother was in my house, and Grandma was there, and I got some stories later on, I'll tell you, because, oh boy, she was in rare form this week, man. Wow. I will tell you something. Head over to, by the way, you should do, no segue from Grandma, but right to this. Grandma, what Grandma should do, what I should have told her, listen, Grandma, you need to head over to crimeinsports.threadless.com to get all of your small town murder merchandise. That's what I should have told her. Get on over there. Everything, hats and mugs and shirts and sweatshirts and bags with all the sayings and everything that you find amusing or hopefully do. Phoenix, Arizona, March 25th at Stand Up Live. Get those tickets. There's links in the show description to all of this.
Those are selling like crazy, by the way. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you, and get those quick, because like we said, that's our hometown, so we know a lot of people. We have friends and family, and a lot of people are going to hog some tickets up. So get those now, so you don't lose out. But there's people coming from all over.
Seattle, man.
It's pretty
from
cool.
Portland.
Yeah, thank you guys for that.
Bananas.
It's going to be awesome. Also, thank you guys this week for your outpouring of iTunes reviews. We went over 8,000 iTunes reviews.
That's fucking bananas,
which is
James.
Crazy. In 50 episodes, 8,000. We're pretty proud of that. We're proud that you guys would give a shit enough to do that. That we've culled enough people that care enough to do that. So thank you guys. We really do appreciate that. If you haven't done it yet, please go over to iTunes. Give us 5 stars. We've said it a million times. They have a funky algorithm.
It's ridiculous.
How they do their charts and everything else.
They're dancing a jig.
It's ridiculous. So it's on the business end. It's a great way to help us go up the charts. 5 stars. Doesn't matter what you say. It's not for our ego.
It isn't.
Who cares? And if you need to do more than that, like we have a list of people later that are just incredible, and that have contributed to the show, and you guys, thank you guys so much. That's our lifeblood, and it keeps us going, and it really means the world to us. Every penny is so appreciated. You can make a donation at patreon.com/crimeinsports.
That's the one.
And the Patreon went back on all their craziness, so they tried to do the fees.
They walked that shit back fast.
Never mind. So they're okay again.
We'll give them their money. It's fine.
That's fine. Or you can go over to PayPal and use our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com. And you can make a donation there, one-time donation. Every cent, like we said, is incredibly appreciated. We're just blown away by any type of support by anybody.
True.
So if you give us a dime, we're like, holy, wow, that's amazing.
People have done it.
They have done it.
Somebody,
it's
I think,
incredible.
sent us a nickel.
And we're like, cool.
I'll take it.
Thank you.
You
If everybody sent a nickel, we'd be, that'd be great.
We'd only do one show.
Thank you. Yeah. We'd end up doing more shows because I'd feel guilty. Like, I made more shows. You got to come to the studio again. We'd have a third show. You're like, oh God.
You're gonna have to. No. I'll do it.
Speaking of a third show. We'll be here. Also, if you like me ranting and being upset at things, you can listen to P.S. I Hate This Movie, which is another podcast we're redoing. Myself and my wife Sarah, who's hilarious, where we make fun of bad romantic comedies and kind of mock them. And it's not like a live watch or anything like that, but we take notes. It's like this, but
James
with a bad romantic
movie.
Comedy.
It's not going to be like Me and the Wire.
No. We've seen it and we make fun of it. It's a really good time, so check that out. P.S. I Hate This Movie, coming back out in about 2 weeks here. But never mind all that stuff.
All right.
We have to do the disclaimer, and we have to do it because we had a problem. We did not do it during the live show, which is fine, because when we're doing it there, it's like these people all paid money to be here. They know what we're doing, and this is going to be great. But I forgot, we're gonna broadcast
put this out to everybody.
So we should have probably done it, because the 1 week that I didn't do it, and it's been 51 weeks, the one goddamn week I forget to do it, We got emails.
Did we?
We got emails saying, how dare you guys make jokes when there's murder involved, and how dare you do a comedy show, just the basic. This is a comedy podcast.
It is.
The facts are real. The research is real. We don't make it, bend anything to make it more entertaining or anything like that. But we're stand-up comics.
Yeah.
We're going to make jokes.
Yeah.
What we're not going to make jokes about is the victims or the victim's family. We try not to do that by all, humanly possible.
Right.
I mean, we do our best. We are assholes, but we're not scumbags.
That's true.
So that's what it is. It's not that bad.
Right.
But if you don't like... It's true. It's not like
every time you say that, it's not that bad.
We're not sitting here like making fun of dead babies, and that's what people think, and that's not what we're doing at all. We try to be respectful, but we make jokes about murderers and small towns and bumbling police forces and things like that because that's where comedy is.
It's funny.
I'd rather hear that than and then his head was sliced from his shoulders. I don't want to hear it like that. That's a lot of people do. That's great. Go listen to Dateline.
Dateline's on every fucking week,
but this is different.
Go find Nutsack Face, fucking Keith Holt. What's his name?
Who knows?
I'm mixing the two.
It doesn't
Keith
matter.
Morrison.
Forget all of that stuff. Forget all of everybody named Morrison. It doesn't matter. Does because I know what you're saying right now. Yeah. You're saying shut up and give me murder.
Give me murder,
That's
James.
what we're going to do.
All right.
What do you say?
All right.
Let's go on a trip.
Yes.
Shall we? Let's go on a little trip.
From South Carolina.
South Carolina. This is going to be a long trip. So it's going to be, we're going to get on a plane for this one. All the way across the country.
Oh, we've got a fucking connecting
flight.
Load
up. I got us a nonstop here, but then we're going to have to drive. We got to rent a car because it's out there. Small town. We're going to Newport, Oregon.
Oh, okay.
So all the way from the one coast to the other.
Same sticky. It's just a different sticky.
This is a weird. It's not warm here though. Like in the average temperatures in the summer are like 64 degrees.
Oh, really?
Like the average highs in the winter is like 58 degrees.
Okay.
It's like England over here. It's just like always rainy, cold, and kind of. Yes, and this is a beach town there.
Okay.
Newport, Oregon. It's in the northwest part of Oregon, right on the coast. It's a beach town. It's 2.5 hours to Portland.
There's a shitload of Newports.
There's a lot of Newports. They're all. How many of these towns?
Every time they open a Newport, they're like, "This one's the newest. This is now Newport."
If you're not touching the Atlantic Ocean, you're named after a town that is touching the Atlantic Ocean. That's just the way it is. And every town's like was named after this town that the founder was from. They just show up and they're like, "Yeah, I'll name this after my town." Every time that'll do. That's no creativity whatsoever.
I have so many great memories from that place. Well, let's just name this one that.
This will be in Newport also. This is fine. Why? Why are you doing the Canton, Ohio? Canton, Missouri. I like Canton, Ohio. So strange,
There's
man.
Like 7 people that like Canton, Ohio.
Yes.
And then every football player
They're
ever
just
loves
like, that
it.
Hall of Fame's
Outside
awesome.
of that,
that's it, man.
Who gives a shit?
Like a Lawrence Taylor wandering around. He's always entertaining. Lawrence Taylor running around trying to
cocaine falling out of his pockets.
Yeah, trying to round up prostitutes. It's very, very
checking
difficult.
IDs now, though. I guarantee
he's definitely checking IDs. It's an hour and a half to Salem.
Okay,
so it's not. It's in the middle of it's a bunch of towns on the coast, but they're not big towns. It's not. It's odd because it's not. There's no like San Francisco here, and we'll talk about for a little bit here that they had dreams of it being like that at one point. But there's no like big coastal city that this is. This is kind of just an area of kind of small little beach towns. It's in Lincoln County, zip code 97365, area code 541. It's about 10.5 square miles. About 9 of those are land, and then as we know, they kind of go out.
It's always
from the
funny,
ocean. They
beach
get a
communities to me that have like shit weather like this. It's like it's beach community, but you're in jeans and a sweatshirt.
Yes,
you know
that's one of those beaches which I prefer.
Beach.
I like that. Yeah, I hate the sun. I gotta sit in the sun and the heat and get out of here. I like it cloudy.
I don't like bocce ball beaches. Fuck that.
I like it cloudy.
You.
Give me a sweatshirt. I'm not. I don't like hot or cold.
Yeah.
See, that's my thing. I don't like it to be hot or cold. I'm awful with weather.
65.
I don't like it at all.
James is in.
That's 65 to about 74, and then outside of that, I'm going to complain.
That's
I'm going to be
so
honest
specific.
with you. I'm going to be very upset with everything, and I need a little humidity, but not too much.
Yeah.
I'm like an old lady who's got a humidifier set up. Although I don't do any of that, I should because I'm very particular.
James has got a neti pot, shit like that.
I should, man. That's what I got to do. When I'm old, I'm going to be awful. I'm going to have shit set up. You're going to walk in my house like, what the hell's going on? There's going to be machines going off, steam coming from here, wind coming from here, air conditioning and heat on at the same time, storm systems forming in the corner of the room.
Although I'm kind of similar because in the wintertime here where
I'm freezing.
It's been 65. I'll roll my windows down and then crank my heater on in my car and just drive down the road like that.
At night it's 50 degrees. I'm freezing. In the day it's like 78 and I'm like, it's hot out. It's too sunny. I will not be pleased when it comes to weather. This town has several slogans.
Oh,
several.
great.
They cannot decide. Somebody needs to hire a marketing team and pick one.
Or loan some of these to other towns.
Yeah, that don't have one, exactly. Some of your motto-deficient towns. Number one that I see is right on their website, right up front, is just, quote, the friendliest.
Oh.
That's their Wikipedia page.
That's not very creative at all.
The friendliest. So it's the friendliest. Another one that I think is, this one's kind of condescending, and I don't like it.
And I don't like it.
I don't like it. Quote, they're your vacation days. Do something new.
Oh.
That sounds like a challenge.
It does.
What I'm doing isn't good enough for you?
Sounds like a dare.
Yeah, I'm fine with what I do on my vacation days.
They're your vacation days.
Do something new, pussy. Like, no, I'm fine. I'm happy. What are you attacking me for?
I just barked again. I tried so hard to...
It's annoying, though, man.
Yeah.
The other one here, quote, the coast you remember. Okay.
What?
That's just...
Which one's forgettable?
That's just seems like someone came up with that. They're like, yeah, write that one down, too. That's fine. Yeah, no, like Bob doesn't get a lot of his ideas taken, and they're like, just take Bob, just put it up somewhere on the site.
We'll put it in a hat, and we'll draw. We'll see which one comes
We'll put
out.
it on one of the signs into town. It's fine. Just don't worry about it. And the other one, quote, Newport, Oregon, the Dungeness crab capital of the world.
I'm in.
Of the world.
I like it.
So this sounds like my kind of town. There's crab, except the fact that they're challenging me on my vacation.
And also, take it easy. I think that isn't that Baltimore or somewhere near Maryland that's a Dungeness crab stuff?
They also
aren't they the most?
They're the blue crabs?
I don't know.
I think they're blue crabs down there.
I'm stupid. So who
they
knows?
might be though. What the hell do I know? I don't know.
It's crab. You don't get to claim any crab if you got Maryland in the running. Also,
that's true. I mean, Maine has lobsters. I don't know if they have crabs too. There's crabs everywhere.
There really is.
I don't
know. They've got a TV show for it.
We'll see. Yeah, that's true. That doesn't. It's not involving this town at all.
Has nothing to do with this.
People started coming here. Obviously, it was occupied before that. The Native Americans were there, but as early as back in 1856, people would come here. There was basically big ships that would come to supply the military garrisons there because they'd put. Wherever we found anything, we're like, okay, first put the army there, and then we'll figure out what we're doing with it.
Let's protect this shit first.
Yeah, they discovered the oyster beds in 1862.
Oh, I'm in.
So that was a big deal. Once they got oysters and crabs there, I'm liking this place a little bit
awesome.
more. So they would export these to San Francisco and to other cities, but San Fran was the big nearest city that they could make some dough off of exporting these
Meanwhile,
oysters.
they've got the Fisherman's Wharf. They don't need your fucking seafood.
Apparently, they hadn't discovered their oyster beds yet. I don't know what happened, but they were pumping them out.
San Francisco's killing it in fucking seafood. I promise you.
Oh, it's so good. I know.
It's amazing.
Fisherman's Wharf, and they shuck it right there.
Yeah.
Oh, I eat oysters till I'm sick. Raw oysters and raw clams.
So many lemons.
It's
so incredible.
Much. Cocktail sauce all over.
Yeah.
So. There's a celebration that happened in 1866 on the 4th of July, and this is, I find, amusing here. They got 400 people together.
Yeah.
This Newport at that point is like a lumber and fishing village. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Now it's a vacation and lumber and fishing village, but back then it was just that. This was, this is the 90th 4th of July celebration, 90th celebration of...
they couldn't wait 10 years. Somebody was about to die. That's
They're
what happened.
They're going to have a big party. Now, what ended up happening, too,
somebody wasn't making it to 100. That's my point.
No. People...
we got to make it a big deal at 90 because he's clearly not going to make it to 92.
Not at all. Not at all. So the local tribesmen, about 300 of them, came to watch. Now, imagine these tribesmen, from the tribes in the area, not white people here. And they watched a bunch of guys, they raised the American flag in the middle of the town and then started praying. Imagine these poor Indians.
That's their celebration?
Yeah, they raised at the end. And
celebration.
Well, that's terrible, too. I didn't hear of anybody getting, boozed up and blowing a hand off with some fireworks or anything like that.
This is garbage. Raise the flag and pray?
This is very early white trash. They hadn't figured it out yet. Imagine these poor Indians are watching this ceremony going, oh, shit, this isn't good. I've heard about this. No, I've heard about it. When white people start putting flags up, that's when it's trouble.
And they all bow their head and shit, we're all going to die.
Flags were like the cupcake shop of the 1800s. If you saw a flag going up, the neighborhood's fucked and you're gonna have to leave because you're not going to be able to afford it soon. That's it.
It's today's vape shop.
It is. That's exactly right, man. So yeah, they had a big, a huge feast afterwards, and they all said that this is going to be the San Francisco of Oregon.
Oh boy,
calm the fuck down, everybody, relax, relax.
San Francisco's a bit too close for you guys to be claiming to be that.
Yeah, let's chill out on the San Francisco of Oregon.
We don't say we're L.A. of Arizona, and we would never dare.
We got oysters. We're now San Francisco. Okay, we got a flag and oysters and some lumber. So everybody, fucking pony up. Let's go, San Francisco. People will be no gold, mind you, which is why San Francisco turned into San Francisco. We don't have that. But there's oysters.
That's amazing.
They're going to be coming from the mountains with their mining equipment for oysters now. They're going to be with their big pickaxes hitting the little shells and everything.
We got black smelly gold here. Get over here.
Get over here. Come on. You can black smelly gold. Come on, guys. Everybody.
That's so gross.
Everybody. During World War I, this area was home to the largest spruce mill in the world, which around here was a town called Toledo, and that's where the wood from the spruce goose for Howard Hughes' plane came from. Yeah, it was from in this area.
Wait, hold on. Howard Hughes' plane was fucking wood?
Yeah, the spruce goose was wood.
Wait, what?
A lot of it was wood.
I didn't know that.
I don't think all of it was wood. Maybe it was.
I'm blown away right now. I didn't know you could make wood fly.
Yeah, you can make wood fly.
That's
what do you think
crazy.
They made planes out of before we had...
I mean,
think they were pounding out
metal?
aluminum, and the Wright brothers were like, we're getting some nice aluminum sheets.
I've seen the Enola Gay. That shit is all aluminum. That's amazing.
I feel like, no. You'd see things blow up in like old footage of you'd see them blow up and there'd just be wood panels flying everywhere, like fluttering to the ground. Yeah, I feel like a lot of these things were wood.
I don't know.
Maybe. How the hell do we know about planes?
I didn't know his tree was made of spruce. That's
small
crazy.
Town murder, not small town aviation.
That's true.
I have no idea about any of this. Didn't study it, quite frankly.
We should start that one, though. We'll get some goggles and a white scarf and some flight suits, and we'll figure out what we'll bore the pants off of people.
That's what we need to do. No, you don't want that. So you're better off with this.
Let's stick with murder.
Let's do it. So they got over $1 million from the federal government out of the $5 million they needed to build a bunch of bridges on the Oregon coast in the 1930s, and these were like works projects from the Depression. But the bridges are still there, and they're pretty useful. Honestly,
you
want to go over water. They're falling apart, but I mean, it's useful to have a bridge at all. It's
Have
a good idea.
Have you driven any of those bridges up there?
No.
They are fucking terrifying.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
100% terrifying.
This is the Yaquina Bay Bridge.
Okay.
It's opened on October 3rd, 1936. That's the big one up there. It spans south of Newport, Oregon, all the way through. It's known as the most recognizable of the bridges on Route 101.
Okay.
Here it's 3,200 feet long, so over a half mile, and 133 feet high.
Holy shit.
So pretty high up there.
See what I'm saying? That's terrifying to me. I hate bridges. I've said it before. They scare the fucking bejesus out of me.
No, they're awful.
And when they're that big and that long, I want nothing to do with that.
Yeah, well, there's bridges in this story too. We'll talk
the problem
about.
is you have to take that at some point if you live up there.
If you want to get fatter, you go all the way around inland, which is going to take forever.
3,200 feet of fucking anxiety.
That's all it is. Just white knuckle, 3,200 feet of white knuckle. Notable people from this town, bunch of people I've never heard of.
Yeah.
A bunch of mechanical engineers. We don't know these fucking people. We don't even know what planes are made out of. We know nothing.
You know how many mechanical engineers are from Phoenix?
Who knows?
Why is that a guy?
And somebody we do know, Randall Woodfield.
Get the fucking I-5 killer.
The I-5 killer, a serial killer who was episode 54 of Crime and Sports, our other podcast, and we went up his ass with a microscope, and there's like 5 minutes of sports, so listen to that one. It's serial killing and us making fun of him. But that he is from this area also.
Wow.
He's from this town. So that's illustrious alumni from this town.
That's fucking royalty.
That's royalty there. People in this town, 10,268 population right now, which is up 22% since 1990. So people, like all the West Coast towns, people are moving there.
Well, they heard about Randall Woodfield.
They're like, I-5 killer. I can get raped and murdered? Sounds great. I think I'm going to go there. Brutally murdered? Awesome. So median age here in Oregon is a killery state, too. It's known as it's like the hotbed of serial killing and serial killers, and they breed them there.
The musicians that kill themselves.
We said that's true. Well, that's West Washington.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Pacific
Northwest.
We called inland South Carolina the devil's taint of racism last week. This is
This is so progressive up there, yet fucking they just breed murderers.
Well, this is the devil's taint of serial killers.
Yeah, it is.
He's
it really
breeding
is,
right from here. Median age here, 43.6, which is about 6 years older than the average, and it's old and young, and it's an odd mix. These beach towns are an odd mix because it's touristy, and then there's fishermen and lumberjacks and shit. It's a weird place here. More females than males, about 53.5% female, which is pretty 2% higher. It's a little out of whack. Few more married people than single people, but generally everything's kind of in the ballpark of normal. Married with no children, though, is 50% of the population. Married but don't have any kids.
That's crazy.
Which is way higher than the average, and that's a strange thing. So I'm thinking that's probably people in their 50s, 60s maybe, or I don't know if they count children, if it's just children in the home, or do you have offspring somewhere? I don't know what the question is.
But that's today?
That would be today.
It could be. There's a lot of gay people up there. You know what I mean?
I don't think
they can get married.
That's true, but
it's not enough to fuck the
gay people are like 1.5% of the population or 3% of the population. I think it's more like 8.
But are
10,
all of them up there?
If we're being realistic, but 3% that admit to being gay, and then you have the rest are Republicans that are closet. Sorry, Republicans. That's a joke. That's a joke. It's only because you guys, when you are gay, are not that forward about it.
You're clearly hiding it.
Yes.
Because it'll damage.
Not saying if you're a Republican, you're gay, but if you're a Republican and you're gay, you're going to nudge people under a bathroom stall.
Right,
that's going to be your way of going about it for a while. But anyway.
Because you don't want to ruin your wife and your children's lives.
That's the thing. You're trying to be, yes, exactly. You got in over your head, let's say. So now you're trying to get in over your head.
Right. So, down to the shaft.
Race of this town. Sorry. Good Lord. Nothing. We love gay people. We have nothing against gay. We have a lot of gay listeners. Lesbians love us.
This is fucking bananas.
Hi, lesbians.
Hello.
We figured lesbians would hate us, actually. We'd be the reason they're lesbians. And oddly
or
enough,
at least they go, that's for do you all see why we're lesbians?
Maybe that's what it is. We're just they listen for as reassurance, going, yes, I don't like men at all.
I hate both of you.
So and we know that you're probably you didn't become gay.
No.
We're not saying that. It was a joke. Clearly. So, race of this town, about 79% white, just a little over the average here. Black, about less than 1%. 0.8%.
Really?
0.8% black. Asian, which West Coast, there are Asians. There's 0.98% Asian. Not even 1% Asian in this place, which is odd. I expect more. And
especially with all the seafood.
That's what, they'd be making things out of it, no problem. Right. That's another, that's my Andrew Jackson moment of the week. We've had 2 of them here. Hispanic, about 11.5% Hispanic, which is actually getting close to the average anyway. Okay. But so a little weird there. Religion in this town. 21% of the people are religious.
That's a fucking huge number.
Low.
That's a huge number for that area, though.
But 50% is average. This is the lowest we've ever had. 21%. Yeah, I like this. This is good. I'm a heathen.
This is my kind of place.
It's some Catholic, a few Mormons there, that sort of thing. 0.0% Jewish, 0.0% Muslim. It is a small town after all. Now, politically, it's about 58% Democrat, about 37% Republican, about 4% Independent, which is more independent than normal. Which is, I don't know.
This is the kind of place like Abraham Lincoln would have retired in.
So you could chop some shit down and make a cabin out of it.
Yeah,
you just went with the lumber thing. You just picture
that, and
anywhere where there's logs.
So
he's like, I think Lincoln would like this place.
He'd just be like, this is he changed his name to Vaporham Lincoln or something.
That's good. There's a shop there called Vaporham Lincoln's. With a neon sign of Lincoln's head with smoke coming out of it when he opens his mouth. That exists somewhere in this town on the beach and on the strip there. Unemployment rate's about normal here. Income, though, household income is a little lower than normal. It's about $54,000 a year is normal. Here it's about $40,000 and a half, so $40,500 here. So it's a little lower there, which is tough because the housing is expensive, as we'll get into in a second here. The cost of living, as we talk about 100 being average, is 112 here. Okay. So it's a little bit high. Healthcare's high.
It's a beach community.
Transportation, all that sort of thing. But housing is a 127.
Holy shit.
That's high. And for a median income that's kind of low, it's kind of one of those towns where you kind of have, it seems like to me, where you have townies that, live kind of away from the beach and maybe a couple of houses that have been in, they got it from their mom or their dad, and everybody on the street is pissed off at them because they don't have a Mercedes parked in their driveway. It's maybe possibly
some like 70s Volvo or something.
Yeah, and this guy drives like a pickup truck and he goes to work at the lumber mill, and they're like, this fucking scumbag. They have meetings about him.
Driving down the property value. How can we all contribute to making that house nicer?
They have meetings about this poor person. Housing here, the median home price is $236,400. So a little expensive on the housing. There are some houses, though, 20% of the houses are between $150,000 and $200,000.
Oh, great.
So see what I mean? I feel like there's a few neighborhoods in there where it's like, okay, that's where the kids in the Goonies live.
Right.
And then everybody else.
That's hilarious.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like it's
I just saw that house. It's such a piece of shit.
That's what I mean. I feel like that's those guys. And then there's 15% of the houses are between $300,000 and $400,000. 10% are between $500,000 and $750,000. So then there's that kind of thing here. And if we've convinced you that there's nowhere else on earth that you would care to live than Newport, Oregon.
Being honest, this place sounds amazing.
It does not sound
I want
bad.
To be there.
We have for you the Newport, Oregon Real Estate Report. We have a 2-bedroom apartment there on the average. This seems like you want to rent in this kind of place. $817 a month on the average, which is not bad. It's about more than $200 less than the national average, which is fantastic here. We have a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, 1,300 square feet. Little rundown, not going to lie to you. This is this is the Goonies house. I think Chunk lives here. Okay. This is Chunk's house. This is for sale by owner. They don't want to give standing on the porch. Exactly. Kids are making fun of them as they pass. $168,000.
Doesn't sound awful.
It's not terrible though. You can make it. You're going to be close to the beach. It's not bad. I have a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,800 square foot house.
Okay.
Very nice house. Not bad at all. $315,000. So little pricey on that as we're getting closer to the beach now. And then we have one if you're going to come in and you're going to open up a cupcake shop and really lay down some gentrified roots here. You can do it with a 4-bedroom, 8-bathroom, 5,000 square foot house.
Holy shit.
It's a
what
big.
Are they shitting all day? What do you need 8 bathrooms for?
Well, that is 1 bathroom for each bedroom. And then 4
Everybody
throughout
gets
the rest
a
of the
guest?
house. It's a 5,000 square foot house. So
That's
you're
just
have
all
to
bathrooms.
Litter them. It's a lot of bathrooms.
That's crazy.
It's 1,000 square feet of bathrooms. And this house here, $742,900.
My Christ.
And there's a lot of those like that in the $500,000 and over range. Things to do.
Just like there's so much seafood in this town. You're bound to get some tainted shit.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
you're going to need a lot of bathrooms.
Everyone has bathrooms. Things to do here: whale watching. You can whale watch.
That's awesome.
They have the Oregon Coast Aquarium. This aquarium was home to Kiko, who is the orca from the Free Willy movie. Kiko was there from '96 to '98. Before they sent him off to Iceland. You can go to Nye Beach, which is a big beach there to hang out at, and which will come into our story. Hatfield Marine Science Center is there, and also they have a really cool lighthouse. It's an old lighthouse from the 1800s.
Awesome.
It's pretty neat. Crime rate here, what we're interested in, property crime is almost twice the national average, which was the same in the other beach towns that we did in Maine, I believe, was the same thing. Where and in New Jersey too, that beach town. By the beach, tourists, people get drunk and steal shit, and it's a lot of. I read like reviews of the crime in this town. It's a lot of petty crime, vandalism, drunken people doing pissing in an alley, stupid shit like that. You know,
transient grabbing a hot dog off your grill while you're inside.
Exactly, some bullshit like that. Violent crime is exactly average on national average, so not terrible there for the violent crime. They will steal your shit, but probably won't murder, rape, rob, or assault you. Or they will, but just in an average amount. They're not going to go crazy. They're not going to make a special case out of you. Now let's talk about a fella here, some people from a nearby area that end up in this town, and what happened to these people here. Let's talk about Walter Thomas Ackerson Jr.
Jesus.
Now, Jr., as we know, is bad news right away. It's a problem if you've listened to Crime and Sports at all. Inordinate amount of criminal athletes are juniors. And if they're not a junior, they'll name their kid junior. There will be a junior involved in the mix somewhere. So we're leery of any juniors. Sorry if you're named Junior. We know you had nothing to do with it. This particular Walter Ackerson, we'll just call him Walter Ackerson. It's a little shorter of a moniker than the whole the middle name and Junior.
It's just a bit much.
Yeah, I want to give him more names, actually. Let's give him like a title. Lord Walter Thomas Ackerson Jr. Esquire. Thank you. I needed something else on there. I'll give him 6 names. I think that's enough. He's born July 2nd, 1973. This young man here. he grows up in Washington State.
Okay.
This kid. He grows up in Kettle Falls, Washington, which is over in eastern Washington, which is practically Idaho. That's like, that's like meth and supremacy country out there. It's like, let's look at this property. Oh, that's a Klan compound and a meth lab, and a Klan compound and a meth lab. Oh, a militia. This is great, wonderful. Like I feel like that's a lot of Eastern Washington, and people that I know from Washington have told me just pure meth.
Just tons of. They don't even buy like T-shirts. It's just like those wife beater A shirts. You know what I mean? And that's what they wander around in. You're like, it's 12 degrees outside. What are you doing? My suspenders keep me warm. I'm all right.
My suspenders and my wife beater.
My bright red suspenders with my white wife beater.
Yeah, that's a look.
Right.
You don't need those suspenders.
No, it tells a story. That's what that look is. It lets you know that there was child abuse in my house.
That's what the suspenders and the wife beater. That's the sign. I like it.
It's a telegraph.
You see that? Watch out.
Right.
It's like we talked about the NAMBLA thing.
Yes.
Watch out. We won't get into that. NAMBLA bad people. We were making fun of them. Anyway, we weren't saying like, that NAMBLA's a fine organization.
James, I got my NAMBLA card. Did you get yours for 2018 yet?
That was not it at all. That's awful. That is awful. So he grows up in Kettle Falls, very small town here.
Yeah.
This could be, if there was murder here, we could do this. It's a 1,600 people small town.
Okay.
We're going to talk about like 4 different small towns. Okay. This kid is like small town royalty.
Really?
Just from small town to small town. He's a nice kid.
Okay.
He's a tiny kid.
Okay.
This kid is little.
How old is
he? Well, at one point here, we'll talk about. He's born in 1973.
Okay.
When he's 5 years old, he's always littler than the other kids by far. Skinny kid.
I'm familiar.
Yeah, well, be very skinny too. Okay. You're not familiar.
I was.
I know.
I was so skinny.
I was trying to pick on
right
you,
up until
Jimmy's
I started
not fat,
drinking
actually,
booze.
Yeah,
I'm bloated. I'm quite bloated.
But that's probably because you were drinking last night at the comedy club. But other than that, yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
So this kid here, he's a small kid. He's 5'7" also when he grows up.
Yeah.
So as you know, you're familiar.
This kid is me. I like him.
This kid is you. He's 5. He's a very sweet kid.
Okay.
He writes, when he's 5, his mother saves later on, wrote his mom a poem for Mother's Day.
Oh, that's
which
nice.
is sweet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's very nice.
Yeah.
He's a nice kid. Everybody says he loves animals. He takes anything he finds, he takes it home and wants to keep it. Even like rats and snakes.
What the fuck?
And lizards and shit. Like,
okay, this isn't a sweet kid anymore.
Well, yeah, it's like he
Shit's
finds
coming off the
anything.
rails.
Yeah, if a kid comes home with a rat, and he's like, "Mom, I found this." Like, get the fuck out of my house! Go! You would smack it from his hand before he even say anything. You just
Mom, I see it.
And it runs through, trying to stomp it.
That's my
Mom,
friend.
No. Get it out, kill it. So that could be traumatic, but I don't think that ever happened here.
Okay.
His mom said that he caught a trout once in his grandmother's pond, and he cried because it was bleeding.
Oh my God!
So he's kind of a sensitive kid with the animals and stuff like that. So that's a nice thing, I guess. You know. Very little though. At one point, when he's in elementary school, I guess all the other kids weighed like 50 pounds.
Yeah.
And he would weigh himself, and he said he only weighed 39 pounds.
Yeah.
So that's small. 39 pounds in school at all.
Yeah.
I was more than 39 pounds before kindergarten. I'll tell you that right now. I was a fat fuck when I was a kid.
I'll tell you a quick one. I was 33 pounds in 3rd grade. I remember that because of all the threes.
Okay, so this is you.
Yeah.
This is you. I was a fat fuck when I was a kid. I was fat.
Yeah.
My grandmother, Italian grandma, stuffed me full of food constantly, and I was a fat shit until about the 8th grade, and then I hit a growth spurt and got skinny, and I can't ever get back to it.
I was probably emaciated. That's probably a good definition.
Wow.
It's probably malnourished. Also, probably a good definition. It's just white trash upbringing. I didn't have good food to eat, and then my body, because it didn't have good food, just fucking blew through all the garbage that I was eating, and
you end up skinny.
Wound up skinny.
And also, too, you were a hyper kid from what I know, so you're running around like crazy, which doesn't help either.
Right.
So
dirty and running around.
Yeah, running around, burning calories like a motherfucker. So that's this kid. He's upset about it. He would cry, saying, he'd like try to eat stuff and weigh himself. And like,
anything?
More? No shit. He would cry. His mother told him to keep rocks in his pockets when he weighed himself in front of the other kids.
It's called cheating, Ma.
Yeah, that's not. See, that's the thing. Maybe the other kids won't make fun of him as much, but he still knows he's not as big, and I think that's the problem with him, is he wants to be bigger here. Now, a lot of this by the way, this whole story, a lot of it came from, a lot of the information, especially the background information, came from an amazing article.
Yeah.
Really, really terrific reporting from this person here. It's from the Olympian newspaper by a guy named Sean Robinson.
Okay.
So go online, subscribe to this Olympian Washington newspaper for a minute, because this is an excellent job of reporting these guys do. So good publicity for them.
Yeah.
So Karen Hull is his mother, and she's this woman, man. I gotta like this woman. She tries. She's one of these single mothers that's like, I'm going to keep shit together.
Yeah.
I'm going to try. And he's kind of a fuck up too, Walter. Like he starts to become like kind of a tearaway. He's like a drinker, and he likes to smoke weed.
Yeah.
And he likes to skip school.
All right.
And he likes to whatever you did when you were 14 is what this kid likes to do.
I was just seeing it's mini Jimmy. It's all
mini Jimmy.
Yeah, this
well,
is 15-year-old Jimmy.
Well, it turned out much differently for him, I believe, than it did for you. Although there is still some time left for you. We never know. So his mother, she's going from, she has multiple jobs, she's a single mom, she's trying her hardest, and this is when, like I said, he starts to get into kind of high school age. He doesn't want to go to school anymore. He starts skipping school, and kids mess with him too at school. That's the problem here. Things got tough. They moved. Karen and Walter moved to Puyallup. Is that how you say that?
I don't know.
Puyallup, Washington area. This
Probably.
area here.
Close enough.
It's about 40,000 population, so actually it's kind of more of a little bit bigger of a town. 40,000 and 1,000 are way different in terms of everything here. And for him, this was too much for him.
Yeah.
He liked the small town, and this was like a lot of.
This is more people that'll make fun of him.
This is it. Yeah, he didn't like it, and he's in high school. He's 5'3".
Brutal.
He's
That's my life.
120 pounds at this point.
That's my life. That's how big I was freshman year, and I didn't make it to 120 pounds until I graduated high school.
Wow. See, well, this is kind of where he's at. He's like 8th grade, and people are messing with him in junior high.
Yeah.
They're picking on him. He didn't have your sense of humor, I assume, probably to kind of diffuse the whole situation and maybe skew it toward you a little bit and get people on your side. Right. They instead stuffed him in garbage cans all the time.
That sounds right.
And so he, as you might imagine, was not a big fan of going to school.
No.
Wasn't real into it.
Yeah.
As I can imagine, this poor kid. He's got, who wants to go to school? And especially, too, he moved. He's in some other town.
Yeah.
Now people are stuffing you in garbage cans. It's like, my life sucks, man.
They played a game called Coin Flip at my high school.
He's like Ralph Macchio in The Karate Kid, I feel like, at this point.
Yeah.
He comes in, I picture Johnny beating him up.
They would take two nerds or two people that they chose that were smaller and jam them into lockers and flip a coin. And the person that lost got pissed on in the locker because they had like that grade in the front.
Yeah.
And I was a victim of this game.
Jesus
and it was the
Christ.
first time in my entire life that I won anything. And it was the best day of my life.
Good for you. Did you get a little trophy for it?
No, my trophy was dry clothes.
Let's say your trophy a little.
Neil next to me
got a guy on it
wasn't
with his
so
dick
lucky.
out with fluid coming out of it. That's the trophy. The piss avoider trophy.
Neil next to me, not so lucky. And I remember him screaming, stop. And I was like, just don't aim over here. I don't care if you stop or not.
It's not my problem.
Just, I won. Leave me alone.
Not my problem.
Let me out.
Oh, my God. So his mother here, she'd drop him off at school, and she would literally not drive away till he went inside.
Brutal.
Because she didn't think he was going to leave, but that didn't bother him because he'd go out the next door. He'd go in the school, out in one entrance, out the other exit, like just not going to school. Not happening here. She got a call from the hospital one time because Walter had alcohol poisoning at school.
What?
So he had to, I guess he drank a whole bunch before he went to school. I know how I'll dull this.
But enough to get alcohol poisoning?
Well, shit, if you're 115 pounds, he might have had 3 beers. Next thing you know,
that's not even a six-pack.
He's half dead.
Yeah.
He had to get his stomach pumped, the whole deal.
Terrible.
So she's like, okay, this area, the Puyallup area, is not working out for him.
Yeah.
Let's send him. Maybe it'll work out better if we move him to Tenino, which is another little town. It's about 1,600 population. It's about the same size as the first town they came from. With her mother, Karen's mother, and his grandmother, who, and I love in this article, they just call her Grandma Dolores the whole time. And that's the best thing to call her. She's Grandma Dolores, man. That's all it is here. So she sent him there, and it was better for him for a little bit here. She was more strict than the mother and had more time than the mother. Yeah. She wasn't working 2 jobs and all that sort of thing, so she had more time to say, hey, do your goddamn homework. Right. Be in at a certain time. Yeah, hey, you look drunk.
Right.
You're a child.
You smell like Coors. What are you doing?
Why? Right. You just fell down when I was just standing here talking to me. That's not normal for a teenager, is it? I might be older, but I think I got that much.
I've seen booze. I've seen how people react to it.
I've seen booze, yeah. So he actually did better in school when he went there. He had actually good grades, which was good. He had a really good grade in science. Like the science teacher was impressed with him, saying this kid knows what he's doing. So not bad at all here. He wrote in this article too. It talked about him writing an essay about if he was president, he would raise taxes to lower the deficit and abolish the electoral college. So kick that around amongst yourselves. That's his politics.
Fascinating.
That's his politics.
That is super fascinating.
But the grandmother thing, when you have a kid that's kind of a fuck up, and you have a kid that's just kind of restless, it's not even going to say fuck up because you haven't really done anything to fuck up when you're 14. Yeah. It's just kind of you're restless and nobody's kind of figured out how to reach you yet, I guess, is the I don't know. However you want to put it.
There's potential, but it needs to be guided.
He's got stirrings where he needs to get out and go and do, I don't think the structure, plus I don't think he was used to the kind of structure his grandmother had for him. And maybe at first you're like, cool, I like this, and it makes you feel good that someone cares and all that. And then after a while you're like, but I really don't like going to school and I like drinking beer. So maybe grandma's not the best. I mean, those things are good, but beer, I don't want to get stuffed in a garbage can.
I don't blame you.
It happens. Maybe he was getting pissed on in the garbage can. We have no idea if he won that trophy or not, Jimmy.
That trophy is so coveted.
If he won the golden shower trophy or not, I'm not sure. I'm not. It's just a golden shower.
What a shit fucking thing to do to kids.
That's an awful thing. It really is. What an asshole. Do you remember who this person was?
I don't remember his name.
Oh,
there was
are you
a
kidding
group
me?
of them. There was a group of them.
Do you remember any of their names?
Neil. I remember Neil getting pissed on.
Oh, well, that's not the kid who got pissed on. I feel bad. Any of the pissers? It
was all the fucking cool kids.
Hey, dickheads.
Yeah, all the cool kids.
I hope one of you cocksuckers listen. Do you remember pissing on Jimmy?
Was a Steve, a Mike, or a James.
Well, Steve, Mike, James, go fuck yourselves for pissing on Jimmy. How dare you?
It would have been common fucking names. I don't remember it. I just remember being terrified.
You cocksuckers.
And winning.
What a bunch of assholes.
The first time I won anything.
That's quite the win.
Yeah.
Quite
it's
the
definitely
win.
not the loss.
No,
that
it's not
loss
a loss.
Is the worst
That's
loss.
A tough loss.
You're gonna be in school all day long with somebody else's piss on you. That's the loss.
You'd have
horrible.
to get piss revenge on that.
You'd think so, right?
You'd have to piss in a bag and throw it at him or something.
So that's why they picked the little guy.
Well,
because he's not going to fight back.
Still make a piss balloon though. I gotta make a piss balloon.
I don't know what to do in that situation.
Something.
You just leave school and never come back.
It's kind of like on The Wire when those kids. You ever watch The Wire, Jimmy? The whole kids from the neighborhood. They had a plan to ambush these other kids who beat up Dookie because you can't fuck with Dookie. We can fuck with Dookie, but no one else can fuck with Dookie. So they set up a plan to get him around the corner and then throw piss water balloons at him.
Really?
Only thing is, half of them broke in the kids' hands as they were throwing them. So they were covered in piss too. And then the kids chased them, and there was a big brawl.
That's what I would be afraid of.
And most of them got the shit beaten out of them for throwing piss balloons. So in the end, maybe you shouldn't have thrown piss balloons. Wise choice.
Well, the problem is with piss balloons, how do you get enough pressure behind it to actually make the balloon expand?
Well, that's the you'd have to hold it open. And you got to
at 36, I can't do that today.
Serious flow.
I don't have the pump for that
anymore. You got to have
anymore.
serious flow right there. That's a tough one. Maybe mix it with another sub. I'm not sure. Moving
Get the
on.
balloon halfway filled up already?
So, Walter makes a decision, and I don't know why his mother would let him do this, but I guess if his grandmother couldn't hack it with him, and what else do you do? He decides to move in go to Spokane, Washington, to live with his ex-stepfather.
No.
Ex-stepfather.
No.
You don't go live with your ex-stepfather.
No.
I don't even want this kid living with his real dad at this point. Definitely not a stepfather who then also left.
Right. And also, the population here is now expanding exponentially.
That's the other
Spokane's
thing.
huge.
It's big, and also his younger brother, half-brother from the stepfather and the mother's relationship also. This sounds like what could go wrong?
It's gotten really bad now.
Ex-stepfather is a trucker who's not there a lot.
Fantastic.
That'll turn it around.
Yeah.
Neglect and trucker speed. That's what the kid needs. Easy access to trucker speed and no supervision. Woohoo! Yeah.
When he comes home, he is dead tired.
Yeah.
He's knocking out for 3 days straight, and that cab of that truck is overflowing with trucker speed.
No offense,
Those kids-
truckers. We have a lot of truckers that listen, but this is 1990.
Right. This is a problem.
You're a pussy if you don't get up some speed. You're not going to make it on time, boy. Better take that speed.
Put the hammer down, motherfucker.
What the hell are you doing? I was like, fuck, man. Just lazy. That's just lazy.
Holy shit.
It's like a guy supposed to pitch in the 7th game of the World Series. He didn't sleep at all the night before because he's out partying. You're like, that's just irresponsible.
You're not earning a ring, you fuck.
What are you doing? Take that trucker speed or you're not going to make it. So,
God damn it, I love truckers, though. They're such amazing people. They really are amazing.
That's some patient shit right there.
That's a fucking... There's nobody in America that drives this fucking country like they do. That's real.
No, it's a nightmare. I hate driving.
We have
here.
4 boxes in our studio today because of people like that.
I hate driving to the studio. It's just 20 minutes from my house, and that's in a car.
These fuckers are driving from Illinois all the way down to fucking Tucson.
Big rig, which looks frightening.
I can't imagine driving that shit.
Shockingly enough, this didn't end up working out swimmingly as you would imagine.
Yeah.
He ends up going back to his mom.
Yeah.
Walter goes back to live with his mom again. Sure. They're in Puyallup or whatever it is there.
Is it P-U-Y-L?
P-U-Y.
Yeah.
A loop. A lup.
Pile up. Okay,
yeah,
that's weird.
Whatever. So anyway, he comes back to live with his mom. They go to counseling. They go to family counseling. Which, see what I mean? His mom tries. His mom's like, okay, maybe it'll be better with the grandmother.
Yeah.
Okay, will you come back? Great. We'll get you in counseling. Let's try. She tries.
She exhausted all means, even up until calling her ex.
Yeah, he wants to live with you.
Right.
All right, send him on. I'm never here anyway. Fuck it. I don't care. I got a bunch of trucker speed he can take. That's cool. So. Anyway, they do that. In counseling, they're told about a program called the Job Corps.
Okay.
Now, do you know what the Job Corps is?
It's fucked up.
Okay.
So
now,
weird.
Job Corps, if you don't know what it is, let's get into it for 1 second, then we'll talk for a second. Because I have a feeling you know people that have done this. Yeah, so do I. Okay.
They're all fuck-ups.
Every one of them.
Last one.
I'm sorry, but
it is not the Peace Corps.
No, this is not the Peace Corps. This is way different.
This is Peace Corps with meth.
Yes. I remember a line in a Wu-Tang song of Ghostface Killer saying, I should have went to Job Corps. And can it be that it was all so simple then? So if Ghostface Killer had the option to go to Job Corps, then it's not great. We'll put it that. It's not the Peace Corps. He never said, I should have went to Peace Corps. That didn't happen. That never happened, ever. Never.
Fuck.
Jobcorps.com says on their site, by the way, there's like no text at all on here. It's all like click on a thing to get a video and a picture. There's
a reason for
here's
that.
Here's what we're about.
People in Job Corps can't fucking read.
That's exactly it. One says, quote, explore the perks. There's like 4 options.
4 words.
Explore the perks. 3. Find your purpose, never more than 3.
Yeah.
Find your purpose, which just makes me think of The Jerk. Yeah. So I found my special purpose. That just always makes me think of Steve Martin. If I hear anyone say anything about purpose.
Find your purpose, and they just look in their lap. That's hilarious.
I found my purpose. Master a trade and grow your career.
There you go.
And those are like 4 separate options, which all seem like they pretty much go along the same thing.
Master a trade is great fucking advice, though.
I assure you that most of the time, very few of those things are accomplished. Very few of those objectives actually come to pass. Very few come to fruition.
Fuck.
I know a couple people who were complete fuck-ups that were at the Job Corps, and one of them like slept on my couch for like 3 days because he had a problem at the Job Corps. It's a mess.
He didn't even say bye. You just came home one day and he wasn't there.
And he wasn't there anymore.
You
exactly.
still haven't heard from him.
Job Corps it's not the greatest. And I'm sure there's success stories.
I'm positive there's at least 3.
I know there's 2 or 3 kids who had a bad environment. They went there. They took advantage of everything the program had to offer. They didn't get invited. That's great. Good for you guys. You look around. You look to your right. Look to your left. You're alone.
Right.
So there you go.
On graduation day or whatever the fuck they do.
Whatever they do.
Whoever the valedictorian is. They're the valedictorian because he's the only one.
Graduation is the day they just knock on your dorm door and say, get the fuck out now. You go, I guess I graduated.
Somebody hired you. Get out.
You stumble out in your night clothes and they throw a big duffel bag out behind you with all your shit. And you go, rubbing your eyes, you go, I guess I graduated. Fuck, cool. Do I get a diploma? Or?
You have to buy a coffee. That's your graduation.
Do I get a diploma and then a paper airplane comes flying out at you? That's the diploma.
Stabs you in the eye.
Holy cow. What is that? Oh, okay. There's that.
What a great day.
What a great day. My mother's going to be so proud.
She's going to be so happy.
You get your whole family
I don't have
there.
health insurance,
No.
and now I have a cut eye.
Fuck, I still don't have health insurance, so these Job Corps people, I'm right with you. It states on the Job Corps website that your earning potential is another thing. They have those 4 things, and they have big numbers.
Yeah.
One is minimum wage yearly salary, $15,080 after Job Corps, and they have as you scroll down, like a little bar that goes all the way up past that to $57,000.
Holy shit.
Which sounds like they pulled it right out of their ass.
Yeah, they did.
They're like, that sounds like a lot to a dumb kid, right? There, good.
How crazy is that you can go from 15,000 to 57, and then you're like, this is for me.
That's
bananas.
This is like you flunked out of the B high school that they sent you to after they kick you out of high school. You flunked out of that. They're like, it's either the Job Corps or the Army. I don't know what else to tell you guys. And the Army won't take you because you're fucking up even more. So they're not.
Out of the Army, you could probably make 57. So that's probably a better path.
And they might actually straighten your ass out. That's the other thing. You might actually keep you from being a complete fuck up.
Yeah.
But
if they don't, you'll be dishonorably discharged or in the brig or in jail. And you were going to be there anyway.
The brochure for Hull and Walter, for Karen and Walter, it said, quote, make a new life and a good living. So they're looking at that and they're looking at him and they're like, well, he's not doing well in school and he's not going to do all this. Students range from 16 to 24. Yeah. And that's the kids I knew that worked there. I worked at a bar. I was like 21 and they were like 20 and 22. Yeah. And they like worked in the kitchen and then they, went to Job Corps right by there. And it was very depressing here. Apparently they had to pass criminal background checks to see they weren't like but some crimes are allowed because these kids had fucking records. I knew for a fact. So I don't know what kind of background checks they were doing. There's on-site dorms.
Have you murdered anybody? No, you're in.
I think maybe that's what it is. If you don't have like a first-degree rape conviction, they're like, okay, well, you're fine. They live in on-site dorms here. Now, this one that he's looking at that he wants to go to is in Oregon, all the way by the coast in Yakats. Yakats? I don't know how the fuck.
It's some Native American.
Yachats.
That's got to be a Native
American,
right?
I have no idea.
Yachats?
Yeah, Yachats. And I've heard it pronounced different ways.
Don't tweet us.
Don't tweet us because we don't care, and we'll know by then anyway. It doesn't matter.
I saw you pick your phone up.
It doesn't matter. Stop. We don't give a shit. And don't say, it's this. I know you don't want to know, but ha ha ha. No, we don't.
No,
so stop.
I really don't.
You're just clogging up the notifications. You really are.
I get 175 of them with you saying Yachats.
And we love it, but we don't need that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Say you guys are dicks and you can't pronounce anything, and we'll go, ha ha, that's great. But don't correct the pronunciation. Make fun of us, fine. Correction, fuck you. Okay, moving on. So, no alcohol is allowed on site. This is a small town. This is south of Newport, down the coast.
He's getting close.
Small town.
Yeah.
So they're hanging out here. This is where he could get his GED. They're saying he could learn a trade.
Great.
He could, he could do this all here. No distractions. It's at the beach over there, and not the beach, but like the cold beach. You can go sit on the beach in a parka and be like, yeah, this is great. Karen said about the whole thing. This was like this was a light at the end of a tunnel, maybe.
It's a moment
for him.
Yeah.
So she said, quote, on the face of it, it looked like a great opportunity for someone to get an education and have a place to stay that was permanent and stable. They talked about the college opportunities.
Yeah.
So she'd never heard the word college mentioned in the same sentence with Walter in her whole life. So she's like, this is awesome. Walter is totally on board, but he wants to go, like we said, to the one in Yakuts, Oregon, which is 300 miles away.
Okay.
So he wants to get away from home. He's only 16 at this point in time. He's only 16 years old. He hadn't even turned 17 yet. Right. His mother asked if he was afraid, and he said that he wasn't afraid at all. He said he couldn't wait. There was closer ones there where, he could be there and she could see him more and all that. And he said, nope, I want to be there. I want to be by the one by the ocean.
I like it.
I like the ocean. He said he wanted to go fishing and stuff, and he was going there.
Good path. I like it.
Good path.
Yeah.
He picks culinary arts as his
This
career,
is great.
which is good for a kid like this, because if you're good with your hands a little bit, you can be a chef.
Small, you can fit in the kitchen easily.
No, you're absolutely
plenty of
right.
room. I'm not even making a joke.
No, that's in a kitchen.
Great.
You
It's
see
amazing.
a guy who's got skills.
You've seen
and
a line cook?
5'7", $125. You're like, fuck yeah, come on in there. You can fit behind me.
Absolutely.
When you're not going to bump into me.
Right.
You don't want any fat guys.
No. A fat guy makes better food. But
never trust a skinny chef.
Right.
It's like, well, then you'll never trust a chef because they're all fucking skinny. They're all skinny for the most part.
To make it around in that kitchen, it's so easy when you're little.
Unless they get to be fat and gluttonous later on, like Mario Batali.
Oh, he's so good.
You're diddling people and everything else.
He makes such great food.
Yeah, he does. He does. And he's apparently a bad guy from what we found out recently. He always seemed like a bit of a douchebag to me.
He looks like
but,
kind of a dick face. He
That's
looks
true.
pretty gross.
That's true. Yeah. So
if his behavior matches appearance, then that makes sense.
Then what the hell here? Now, when they're filling out the admission forms, one thing that she allowed, there's a special, like a permission slip that allows him on off days to leave campus unsupervised.
Yeah.
And his mother has to sign off on that. Otherwise, he's pretty much like locked down in the dorms. So his mother signs off on that. He says there's lakes and streams, basically, and he wants to go fishing. Yeah. And he's 16 years old, and they're like, okay, we're going to trust you. Yeah. You're trying to get your head out of your ass. They're in counseling, so at the time, everything he's saying is probably, positive. And they're like, no, Walter gets it now.
Right.
He's getting it, so it's great. Let's put him here.
I'm rooting on him for sure right now.
You got to root for him. Everybody's rooting for him here. So he goes over there. They have their, they put the emergency contacts of her and of Karen and Grandma Dolores and all that here. He leaves, and he's such a kid still. He packs his baseball cards when he leaves.
Oh, Jesus.
His prized possession was Ken Griffey Jr. rookie cards.
Yeah, it was.
Which,
in the Pacific Northwest.
I was going to say, and plus, when I was 11, that was a big deal, too. I got to get the Ken Griffey Jr. upper deck, number one of the, fucking everybody did, and I was in New York, so it didn't matter where you are. Right. It was Ken Griffey Jr. And this was right then, 1990. This was like his second year. He writes his grandmother a letter on March 7th, 1990. This is before he leaves for his trip.
Okay.
In the letter, he says, quote, Grandma, hi, today I leave in about 8.5 hours. I am afraid of not succeeding in this venture. I know I can, but I think a large part of my failures are because I am afraid that if I really try, I will fail. I'm going to try to succeed at it, at least that is what part of me is saying, but I know the other side is saying I'm a quitter and a failure. I hope you understand what I'm saying. When I get down there, spelled Their, and I only say that not to make fun of him, but to at this point, but to just kind
of point out the lack of education.
The lack of education, I am planning on going to the junior college they have on campus as well as the Job Corps. I have so much to say since I talked to you yesterday afternoon. Thanks again for the baseball cards and the card, although I think you should have saved your money because you need it more than I need baseball cards.
Oh, that's sweet.
So that's nice.
And also, too, the way it's written, it's very well. That's a really well crafted letter.
That's not bad. Yeah,
he's using venture. He's using failure and
get his emotions
succeed.
out.
Yeah.
He can tell.
He wants to be a good kid.
Yeah, and if you taught him some English, he'd probably be able to write something. Yeah, exactly. His grandmother wrote him back saying that it was a chance of a lifetime. That everybody is scared of shit.
Yeah.
Grown-ups feel that way too.
Did she say that?
Everybody's
scared of shit.
Everybody's scared of shit, kid. That's what she wrote. Listen, she said, "Listen, buddy, everybody's scared of shit. Grandma,
get out there,
G-ma, fuck it.
I don't have time for grand G-ma."
This grandmother's so nice. Quote, I love you and think of you a lot and really hope this is the break you deserve. Okay, now, quickly, sidetrack.
Yeah.
From Grandma,
this
is she doesn't have money, but here's baseball cards, and I love you. I really hope this is the break you deserve.
Right.
Let's contrast that with Christmas at my house, okay? Christmas Eve, quick sidetrack.
Yeah.
Quick sidetrack. Christmas Eve, my grandmother's at my house. Number one, hilarious thing, just a foreigner thing. Yeah. My mother, somebody made Oreo balls, these dessert things, And she said, "Ma, what the hell is the Oreos?" She had no idea what an Oreo is, which I think is fucking hilarious.
What the hell is the Oreos?
It's the Oreos. It's like, you've been in this country since they came out, so there's no excuse for not knowing. There's commercials.
There's knockoffs of them now. Jesus.
You know what an Oreo is, lady. Number 2, my ravioli. I made homemade ravioli. Last week we were at the studio, went home, 6:30 in the morning we were making homemade ravioli. For all these people, made hundreds of ravioli.
Fucking 13 hours of ravioli.
Insane, right? Give it to my grandmother. She's the first plate. You know, I make the whole thing. I give her the first plate. Everybody eats. Everybody says how good it is. And this shit was good, Jimmy. I don't mess around with the homemade pasta. This ricotta, you could just eat it out of the bowl. I had it seasoned with the cheese. It was so amazing. This was the best thing I've ever made. Okay, I'm proud of this shit. Everybody eats. Everybody feels good about it. It's amazing. I'm in the kitchen. I'm just kind of cleaning up. I just am making my plate to eat standing at the counter while I'm doing all this.
Well, you clean up flour off the floor.
And my grandmother walks in the kitchen and she says, "Ma, Jimmy, ma, can I ask you, did you put any seasoning in the ricotta at all? Any salt, pepper? It's very bland."
Grandma, it's 16 hours.
You know, I love my grandmother. But every once in a while, you understand why the desire to punch an old lady would come to the surface. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Not that you do it, but the desire
saw you in my
to
head.
do it.
I just saw you.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
if you know James, he shrugs a lot and he doesn't say anything. So you just know that shrug means a fucking lot. And I can see you taking a bite of the ravioli.
That's exactly what I did.
Shrugging, setting the plate down, turning around and just drilling this whole
Everything
plate.
mindset. I looked at her, I stopped, and she had a look on her face.
I guess this is a Christmas I punch you.
Yay. Merry Christmas. She had a look on her face like I was an asshole, too. Like, why did you do this to me? And I kind of cocked my head sideways, and I went, I guess not enough, then. I'm sorry, Grandma. I don't know. I messed up. And then she went on to tell me 5 more times that I should have done better.
Right.
And so I said, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you, Grandma.
Oh, I can't wait to meet her.
And didn't say anything else. You will on March 25th at Stand Up Live, because she'll be there at the show. Then, for a Christmas present, she proceeded to give me my own savings bonds that she got for me in 1982. That was my Christmas present. I shit you not.
Oh, we're going to open a time capsule on
Christmas.
Christmas.
And I'm like, these are addressed to me. These are from 1982. You already bought these for me. They were from Christmas of 82.
Right.
So she bought me a Christmas present in 1982 that she then gave again to me 35 years later. That's some foresight.
That's unbelievable.
Wow.
That's
so
fantastic.
That's Grandma over the
Somebody
holidays.
gave me a gift card this Christmas. We got gift cards from our listeners.
Yes, thank you.
If they took those and put them in a time capsule and then gave them to us again next year, I'd be fucking furious.
Yeah, like, what are you doing? She re-gifted my own gift that was already to me. She didn't re-gift a gift someone gave to me. She got me something, then rewrapped it, gave it to me again. That is a next level of cheap and funny. So
that's the next level of go fuck yourself with your ravioli.
Oh, yeah. Your ravioli sucks, and here's something you already own.
I'll bet she had 2 gifts.
Merry Christmas.
She had 2 gifts for you. One was if you fucked up the ravioli, and you did.
Yeah, that was...
And then the other one was like a fucking TV in her trunk.
That's it. That's gone.
I'll get you a gift after your ravioli.
She handed me the envelope too. And she said, "Ma, they'll be worth more than they say on the front because they're old." And I'm
because there's time passing.
And there's an envelope. I'm like, what is she talking about? And then I open it up and I'm like, oh, there's bonds. Maybe wait, these are addressed to me. These are from. She already got me these for Christmas. Thank you, Grandma. Thank you very much. That's terrific. So yeah. What
a gift.
Woof.
That's a different grandma.
That's my nice grandma, too. So,
you deserve every break you're going to get, James.
Jesus Christ. She also used to hit me with a spoon violently when I was young.
Shit, yeah, she did.
She's a foreigner, though. I'll give her that. She told me way worse stories of her own beatings, so it's fine. Now, Walter's 5'7", 128 pounds, going off to the Job Corps on his own with people who are going to be older than him, which is tough here.
Yeah.
First 2 weeks he's there. He calls his grandmother a bunch, calls his mother a bunch. He said, can you send me a fishing pole?
Yeah.
I guess his fishing pole broke,
That's
and
nice.
he's like, I need a fishing pole. I'm bored over here. Weird thing happens, though. March 20th, 1990, he gets a call. The grandmother gets a call from him, and he's just being weird. He's saying things but not saying things. He tells her, quote, "This place is nothing like you think it is." And
he's let down.
Yeah, and but he wouldn't go into details. He just said it's not like they say, and it's not what you think. And he kept saying stuff like that. The people are different than you'd imagine.
Yeah.
Real weird stuff.
It's Job Corps, bro.
It's Job Corps. What did you expect? This is not. You're not going to the most.
It's not Yale.
No,
no.
And even
Job
there,
Corps.
they would haze you and everything else, probably horribly. But these people are going to just, they're criminal minds, half these people.
This is Skull and Bones without the sweater vest.
Exactly.
That's what
this is Skull and Bones with actual skulls and bones. That's the problem. So Grandma Dolores said, quote, "We learned there wasn't anything good about that place." So that's rough here. But they don't hear anything from him. That was the 20th of March. By April 5th, they don't hear anything from him for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And they're like, what is going on with Walter?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. He just doesn't call. And they think, well, for a while, they're like, well, he said he was kind of bummed out there, and so maybe he's just, trying to adjust. And so they kind of give him his space. But then a Job Corps counselor calls her on April 5th, 1990, calls Karen, a guy named Bud, and he said that he wants to know what Walter's plans are.
Yeah.
And she said, plans about what? What the fuck are you talking about? We went over a curriculum, and we talked about this. She said, well, why don't you ask him about it? He's the one with you. I'm here. What are you talking about? And he said, hasn't anyone called you? She said, no, nobody's called me. And what are you talking about? And he said, well, he's been missing. He left the 24th of March, and we haven't seen him at all. I don't know what you're talking about. He goes, you mean you haven't heard from him?
Oh, boy.
She's like, fuck no, I haven't heard from him. And no one told me he's fucking missing. And they were like, oh, I don't know. We figured he just went home or something. They said
this is Job Corps. That shit happens all the time.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. They run away all the time. I guess they have a rule for alerting parents when a student takes off. The policy then, this is 1990, is that they require notification within 24 hours.
Yeah.
He's been missing since March 24th. It is now April 5th.
That's not good.
So that's a lot. That's a long time for a 16-year-old kid to be doing God knows what out there. She hangs up. Karen hangs up with the counselor, and she immediately calls the Pierce County, Washington Sheriff's Department to file a missing person report.
Sure.
They tell her, he's not missing in Washington, so you need to call Oregon and do it there.
Right.
Oh, so she calls back to the Job Corps to find out more information so she can give to those people. Right. She gets a call back from a woman named Marin Taylor, who's a counselor there. This Taylor woman has the balls to tell her that there's nothing to worry about. You're fine. Don't worry about it. She's like, what do you mean don't worry about it? I don't know where my 16-year-old is, and you haven't seen him in 2 weeks almost, so what the hell is going on? The lady tells her, Marin Taylor tells Karen, we figured it out. He took off for Wyoming with another kid. So she's
Marin said that?
Yeah, the Taylor, the counselor. Said, she took off to Wyoming, and she's like, he's 16 fucking years old.
He doesn't get to go to Wyoming on his own.
He can't. If he's not with you, he belongs with me.
Right.
He's 16 years old.
He's still a minor.
He can't go running around different states with other people. The mother here, Karen, asked the lady Taylor to file a police report. And she says, for what?
We know where he is.
Because she's 16, you fucking dummy. Right. Finally, she says she will file a report. And as you can imagine, I mean, the Karen's freaking out. Yeah. She doesn't know what the fuck's going on. She hasn't heard from her son. She's losing her mind. She speaks to another counselor to ask if the police report had been filed. What about the other kid that took off with Walter? Is he back?
Who is that kid? Right.
Do you know where he is?
Can
Who's
we get
that?
a name?
Can we get something? Can we paint something in this picture? Because right now, there is no colors.
This is too much. This is too good. This is too gray.
This is 5 minutes into a Bob Ross painting. You have no fucking idea with those gray blobs that he's telling you to swoosh around and just do kind of hard and then just swoosh it off at the end. Get the brush. You don't know what that's going to be. Is it going to be a mountain? Is it going to be a tree? We have no fucking idea at this point. So that's what I think we're doing here. The counselor says, I don't know what you're talking about. Everyone who left with Walter, all the boys that took off that day, they've been back. No one filed any police report. Walter took all his clothes with him, they tell her. They say he took his clothes, his personal belongings.
That's not a fucking day trip to Wyoming.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, this isn't a motel where they're like, oh, no, see, room 128, no, he checked out. No. Room 128, 128 pounds here. He's still there. God damn it, where is he?
Right.
So Karen said, I'll file the shit with myself. I'll file the police report myself, and I'm going to come down there, too, and talk to you, motherfuckers.
You're goddamn right.
The Job Corps, they're just like, he's a runaway. I don't know. He ran away. Kids run away all the time. I don't know what to tell you.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, like, I don't know if a lot of these kids don't have parents that give a shit.
Yeah,
that's probably not
generally true.
They're probably not used to dealing with involved parents who actually care and actually go, hey, where's my kid?
The majority of people in Job Corps, the parents are like, your problem now.
Yeah, I'm glad I haven't heard from him in 2 weeks. Thank God. It's finally.
It's been a reprieve.
Finally, yeah. So, anyway, they never filed the police report, and they didn't tell her they didn't file the police report. So as far as she knew, the police report was filed.
Right.
So it ends up being a Lieutenant Dave Shanks, who is the guy looking for the police department there.
Yeah.
He spends an afternoon in Yakats.
Right.
He talks to the Job Corps people. He talks to staff members. They tell him that 3 other students with Walter, a guy named Troy Culver, who's 20 years old. Culver's like 5'7". He's a stocky little fat fuck, though. Okay. Eric Forgen and Jeff Callaghan, these other 2 guys, they were both 19, almost 20. So they're older than him. They're 3 years older than him. Kind of a little more seasoned than him here. The 4 of them went to Nye Beach on the 24th. Okay. And what the students tell him that they talked some guy into buying him beer. They got a case of Old English 40s.
You bet.
So
a case of 40s,
which I think is like 8. I think that's like 8, I think. I'm not sure.
I hope so.
A case can't be 20. You're not getting 24 40s.
That's too many.
They're not drinking 6 40s apiece.
That's a lot.
You will die.
At 110 pounds,
First of all,
fuck yes.
You wouldn't be able to just keep that much liquid in you. It would be coming out of your ears.
Right.
You'd have beer just coming from your pores. I can't do it anymore.
You'd just be
drowning
drinking and pissing at the same time.
Constantly.
You just have to be standing on the beach.
A steady stream.
With your dick out, just pissing while you're drinking.
Yeah, they tell him that Walter got super drunk and went off by himself, and they said they went back and they didn't come back with him. They came back to Job Corps, and they're like, I don't know, he just disappeared.
He walked down the beach, so we left.
All 3 of the kids said the same thing. Like he was there. There's a thing where they saw them. The kids said that there were some girls, and Walter was kind of acting like a jackass, and so they kind of left him alone to go talk to these girls.
Like a 16-year-old does?
Yeah, and they said they wandered off, and he wandered off somewhere. They said he took a beer. He took an extra beer and wandered off somewhere, and so they were like,
wandering around with 240s.
The 240s are like, whatever, fuck him, you know what I mean? They're not like brothers. They don't.
So
they're just
weird.
Some kids from the Job Corps that said, I'll go to the beach too. Like they're not like a crew.
Yeah.
This isn't like, oh, these are best friends. And
still just a weird story, but it's a story I expect from people in Job Corps.
Exactly. It's par for the course here. It's core for the course here. Lieutenant Shanks talks to Casto, a guy named Casto, who's one of the counselors there at the Job Corps, and he tells him that we generally don't contact police when someone goes AWOL. We normally contact the parents and the student screeners immediately, but they don't. That's the problem here. Right. Another counselor tells the policeman here, Shanks, that Walter's mother, that Karen had been contacted multiple times before that. He said, I know 4 or 5 different people that have spoken to her since then.
What the shit?
And it's like, no, don't think so.
Shanks said that?
No.
Oh, the
Job Corps people
gotcha.
said this. So he's just gathering his information. Shanks, he talks to Culver. Again, he talks to everybody. Now, what the kids say, too, is they say that Walter was, they say he drank his first 40 really fast. Okay. And which, if you're 128 pounds, you're going to get hammered drinking a 40 fast. That's 3.5 beers, so that'll get you good. And they said, and he took another one and started drinking that real fast. And so then they were going to talk to some girls. Yeah. And when they looked for him and another 40 was gone. So 40 number 3, they said he took with him and wandered off here.
He's trying to hammer 9 beers in like an hour.
Yeah, and they said too wasn't a guy who could really hold his alcohol, for his age and weight. But they said he liked weed better. He was a weed guy, and he said that Culver said that Walter had always bragged that he'd done acid, and he said he couldn't wait to get out of Job Corps so he could do more drugs. This is what Troy Culver is telling the detective. This is his story here. There's also in his file, Shanks finds in the Job Corps file that he's got a girlfriend named Emma Beller at the Job Corps. He found a girl. It's not bad. He's been there a couple of weeks. He found a girlfriend.
And buddies to go drink beers with?
That's not bad.
This is good.
This is better than before.
Meanwhile, this detective has the best detective name ever. Every time you say it, I keep seeing that brass
Lieutenant
name
Dave
tag.
Shanks. Detective.
Just
Detective
Shanks on his
Shanks.
on his name tag. That's amazing.
So he comes back. He tells the mother about that. They say that the Job Corps staff marked him as, quote, chose not to return.
Whoa.
Rather than missing.
How are they doing this? I don't understand this whole case already. This is fucking too much.
The Job Corps is just like, I don't know. He took off, and this guy's like, I looked for him. I don't know.
See why we're ragging on Job Corps? This is weird.
That's it. And then, the police force, too. That's it. They do all that investigation. That's the report.
Like, fuck it.
2 days later, they're like, I don't know. Whatever. That's it. This guy did not talk to Forsgren, that's his name, sorry. Forsgren or Callaghan, the other two guys he was with.
Really?
So these are 2 people. 3 people were the last to see him before he disappears. He only talks to one of them. And he's like, I guess he wandered off.
It's a good story, kid. You're right.
Yeah, it's fine.
What the fuck?
Doesn't talk to his girlfriend at all, the alleged girlfriend, Emma Beller. Doesn't talk to her. Just doesn't talk to people. He gives the report to a guy with the Newport Police Department up where it is, and that's it. Basically, they didn't seek anything. They treated
a minor like this.
They just said, he'll turn up eventually.
What the fuck?
He's kind of a tearaway, so whatever. That's the way I looked at it. Don't give a shit. But he never ran away before and not told anyone where he was. He never disappeared from his grandmother and his mother. That never happened before. So, they just suspend the case. They say he's a runaway. He's just a missing person like anybody else.
This is 1990?
This is 1990 here. So Karen, not taking this shit, grabs fucking Grandma Dolores. They hop in the goddamn Buick and bolt-ass 300 miles down there to talk about this shit in person. She talks to everybody. There's no stone unturned with this lady. She is like Winona Ryder in Stranger Things. Like, her kid's in a fucking wall. Nobody believes her. They're showing her a corpse, and she's like, no, I'm buying Christmas lights. My kid's in the fucking wall, and I'm going to get him out. I don't care what the hell you say. I know he's in the wall. You can tell me he's not all you want. Tell me he's in the lake. I found him in the wall.
I like it.
So that's what's going on here, I feel like. So this is who I picture the whole time. I picture Winona Ryder frantically hanging up Christmas lights in her white trash rundown shithole Indiana house. I just picture that. That's it.
I just picture Winona Ryder doing that anyway.
That's
probably where her life is today.
No shit. So they get there. Grandma Dolores says it looks like an institution. The kids look like crooks. It's basically not what she had in mind. She thought it was going to be a bunch of kids like going with school books, and it's like, this looks like
There's
a prison.
Trees and shit, and she's like, everything's gray. This is weird.
This is all concrete and prison and boots, and this is strange. They all wore big boots apparently there. I guess those
so weird.
Handout. I don't understand it here. Now, what they end up doing, they meet them. First thing they do is they give Karen a bag of Walter's things.
Okay.
They told her
that he was just missing.
That he took his things.
Oh, that's right.
They said he took all his shit and was gone.
Everything.
They're like, how do you have this here? 2 days ago, I was told that he took his shit and left.
Right.
Now you have his shit. By the way, someone took his baseball cards. They weren't in there.
Really?
So, yeah. Oh, they've definitely robbed him.
Wow.
His shit's going to be sitting in his room for 2 days with valuables and for 2 weeks.
These motherfuckers.
These Griffies are gone, man. Gone. So he didn't take his things with him, which is an odd thing that, you would think if he was going to run away, at least grab your shit maybe. Grab your bag of clothes before you leave.
And why doesn't the detective have those? You know what I mean? Because he
didn't look that far into it.
Shitty-ass police work.
Terrible
this is so
police.
bad.
This is small town shit. This is why we do small town murder, because this shit doesn't happen other places.
No.
If you could say whatever you want about L.A., but if the Los Angeles Police Department were handed a missing 16-year-old, they wouldn't just be like, I don't know, they said he's gone, fuck it, whatever. They would at least probably ask the 3 people he was with.
Right.
I'm not saying they would find the kid, but whatever. They would ask. They'd at least ask more than 2 people.
Right.
They'd say he was with 3 people. We'll ask more than one of them if they might have seen him possibly.
Person.
So, they also say now, they say they tried to contact Karen. They said they called her 2 days after after Walter disappeared, but they couldn't reach her. They said they left a message on Grandma Dolores's answering machine, and they sent a letter that day. The problem is she never got a letter. They never called Karen, and she has an answering machine. And Grandma Dolores, who they say they left a message on her answering machine, does not have an answering machine.
Perfect.
So they fucking lied about everything. They were like, you didn't answer. She's like, well, I have an answering machine, but we left a message on hers. She doesn't have one.
Right.
So everyone's full of shit here. They're just talking shit. They never sent a letter, nothing.
It's essentially a bunch of ass covering for nobody's ass covering. You know what I mean? They completely dropped the ball.
So now Hull and Grandma go into Casto's office, and they drag the other 3 fuckheads that he was with. And they're like, listen, you 3 nudniks, get in here. Culver, Forsgren, and Callaghan. They sit them down, and they notice that they're not like kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're kind of a little
They're
more
adults.
hardened.
They're
One of them's
legitimate adults.
Well, Culver's got a mustache, for Christ's sake.
Jesus,
so, I mean,
fuck.
I doubt that kid has ever... Walter probably never shaved in his life. And if you've seen pictures of Walter, too, at that time period, he looked like he was...
He's a child.
He was 16, and he looked like he was 11.
Jesus.
I mean, he looked like he was 11 years old. Like, he could have gone to 5th grade, and they would have been like, come on in, young man, and sit down. Like,
if he'd have stuck around a little bit longer in life, he could have turned out like me, where you look like you're 11 when you're 16, and then eventually you turn 25 and you look like you're 72. It's the most fucked up life.
You went from looking 12 to 45.
It was so great. I was carded every day of my life when I was 24 for booze and cigarettes. And I turned 25 and they're like, enjoy retirement, old man. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Hold on. Here's you forgot your issue of Modern Maturity magazine. Right. You forgot that.
Would you like to use your AARP discount? No, I would not. I'm 25.
So so Hull is now interrogating these kids, which is not her job, by the way. She said, asked them. They told her the same story they told Shanks.
Yeah.
Everybody says the grandmother and Karen said that they wouldn't look her in the eye. They just kept looking down at their shoes.
Yeah.
Culver, she would ask them stuff and they just really wouldn't talk. Culver said at one point, I'm sorry. And she said, why? Why would you say that? And he said, well, if he'd been drinking and, if he ran away on his own, I should have watched out for him better. I'm the oldest one, and it should have been my responsibility to make sure he didn't wander off.
Yeah.
So that's it. The kids wouldn't say anything else, though, so there's nothing more you could say.
It's not apology time. Save apologies for when you really fuck up.
That's it. Well, she drove home. Hull drives home. Mm-hmm. Karen drives home. Dejected. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
They're saying nothing. What can you say? So she starts writing letters to Congress.
Oh, my God.
They won't fucking find my kid.
Yeah.
So she writes 2 Republicans, 2 Democrats. She writes to these people. So she's trying to get answers from there. This is April of 1990. This is 2 weeks, 12 days after, 17 days after she found out that he's missing. Next after that, Karen and her father, a guy named Larry Bullard, they go back down to Job Corps. Fucking great mom, by the way. She's not taking no for an answer. She's had to call into work all these days. I don't give a shit. My kid's missing, the whole deal. Nothing new comes from any of these people. Nothing at all. But during this trip, a girl named Emma Beller talks to her.
Right.
Emma Beller pulls her aside. According to Karen, pulls her aside in a hallway, grabbed her by her sleeve, she said, and whispered to her that she heard that there was a fight and that TC, which is Troy Culver, everybody calls him TC and Eric got in a fight with Walter and threw him off a bridge. That would be the 133-foot-high Yaquina whatever bridge that we discussed earlier. Why the fuck else would I bring up a fucking bridge in a goddamn story? Give me some goddamn credit when I'm setting shit up in the beginning. I don't like the town stuff. It's Guess what? It comes up later. You motherfuckers know how to write a fucking story. So... she says that that's what she heard, that threw him off a bridge, but Emma Beller wouldn't say anything else, and she kind of ran off, and she's like, I've said too much. Like,
that's so creepy.
What are we in? What is this? The Handmaid's Tale?
Right.
We're fucking one whisper and you run away. They're going to find out. They're going to know. I said too much.
What are you, the fucking white rabbit?
Yes.
It's fucking bizarre.
It's so weird. Yeah, it runs away. You go in the room she went in and she's not in there.
Right.
There's a tiny hole in the corner and she's gone.
A couple of eyes and you listen to Cheshire Cat tell you some stories. What the fuck is this?
Yeah. So Hull goes to the Newport police and said, hey, bridge guy, maybe the body's in there. They said, probably not. This is what the police told her. Probably not. When people fall off that bridge, the bodies eventually wash up. So we would have probably seen them by now.
What the fuck?
And if not, they'll come up eventually.
There are wolves out there.
Usually not in the water. Usually they wash on up by the shore. It's fine. God. So we would have found them on the beach. Some tourist would have found them while they were looking for seashells at some point here.
What a thing to say to a parent that's grieving.
So, so she goes home, comes back, goes to the Job Corps. She wants to put up... missing person posters of Walter around there. She's told she's not allowed in when she gets there. Wow. The Casto asshole says, there's nothing more for me to say to you. You're not coming in. You're not putting posters up. Get the fuck out of here. So they lose her kid, and then they're kicking her off the property.
Wow.
So this is like... Every once in a while, the worst thing in the world is a mass shooting. But every once in a while, you go, how did someone not show up with a fucking assault? Like you getting pissed on in a locker. How did you not show up and fucking get revenge on every last one of these motherfuckers? Because you're a sane person. I get that. We all are. But this is one of those situations where I could see her going, okay, and going to the sporting goods store and coming back with a shotgun and shooting every one of these counselors. Not that I'm encouraging that at all. But if that happened, I'd go, wow.
Makes sense.
She
that makes
snapped,
a lot
man.
more sense than
you
a guy
her off the edge.
dressed as the Joker going into a fucking movie theater.
Exactly. At least there's a reason. You pushed her over the edge. She snapped. She couldn't take it anymore. You drove her fucking crazy, literally, here. The problem is she talks to the police officers. They say there's nothing more else they can do for her. He's a runaway. They give her a form to sign. She signs some form. What this does is this classifies him as a runaway officially, and she says, okay, I'm all right with that. What that means and what she doesn't know is that means there's no more active inquiry. It's just put in a shelf. So now if somebody says, hey, I got some kid, is he a missing person? If they call in and look it up, oh, yeah, he is, but they're not looking for this person actively.
That's fucked up.
It's just, they just shelve him. Fuck it, he's gone.
And she has no idea this is what this means.
Yeah, that's in the report. It says, "quote I therefore recommend Walter Thomas Ackerson Jr. be cleared from the computer as a missing person and entered as a runaway juvenile," which means they'll be back eventually. Fuck
Never
off
sign
here.
That.
Never signed, but she didn't know that's what she was signing. They just told her, So she wanted to believe that this happened.
Yeah.
In her mind, that's a better story.
Oh, much better.
He went to Wyoming with some other kid to be a fucking cowboy or something. It's a better story than two dipshits threw him off a bridge.
Right.
Like, as a mother, you want to believe that.
Sure.
I would imagine here. So, she said she thought the police really looked into it, too. Yeah. You tell the police there's a missing child, you expect they might check that out a little bit, and so she had no fucking idea.
Walter Ackerman Jr. is a much better cowboy name anyway.
That's a good cowboy name.
Great cowboy
that's
name.
actually true. That's not bad here. She even told she told this police officer here too that about this the Emma Beller story, the kids, the whole deal. They say in the report here that they should contact the three males that he was with to see if they have any more information. But outside of that, who knows here?
Right.
Two of them have not been interviewed at all officially, and the case is suspended, so they're not really going to do that anyway. By May 1990, people in Congress are working on this.
Okay.
But it's ridiculous because it's all bureaucracy. The congressmen actually write letters. They send them to the U.S. Department of Labor, which oversees the Job Corps.
Right.
But the letters were then forwarded to the Department of Agriculture, which forwarded them to the Forest Services, which oversaw that particular Job Corps employee set in over here.
Okay, so they're getting it more specific.
They're just sending them around. Yeah. Nobody gives a shit. Finally, the Forest Service passes them to the Job Corps, and every reply came from Casto, the same guy who kicked her off the fucking property.
It does nothing and it goes nowhere.
Yeah, they said that they just said, hey, we did try to contact her. She's crazy. Mm-hmm. She gets a letter from her congressman back in May. So less than 2 weeks later, she gets a letter back saying, quote, the day after the disappearance, they did attempt to contact you, and that proved unsuccessful. They left a message on your mother's answering machine. Apparently, the friends who last saw said Walter chose not to return.
I can't imagine.
Same thing. Tough shit.
Frustrating.
We looked into it. I don't fucking know. Whatever. So, yeah, this whole thing is fucking ridiculous. She's pissed off. She replies back that they've constantly given her misleading information and different stories.
Right.
It's obvious that Casto is trying to cover this up, and they fucked up and they don't want to acknowledge it.
Right.
But things happen. I mean, she's writing letters back and forth, but this goes on through 1990. Jesus. No word, no nothing.
The whole goddamn year.
Whole year goes by. Students, the three that she wanted to talk to, Callaghan, Forsgren, and Culver, they all leave. Callaghan graduates. They say that he has great praise from stuff on his reports from his teachers. They say what a great guy he is. Forsgren ends up getting suspended and kicked out
he's a piece of shit.
Dicking off, drinking, stupid stuff like that. Culver is also kicked out for assaulting another student.
Oh, he's a little bit violent.
He's fucking aggressive, this Culver here. But that's it. They went to the Walters photo, went to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children that you'd get a flyer for with age progression.
And you throw it in your trash.
That's where it is, where you don't even look at it. That's the one here. They did the whole age progression, which, by the way, he looks like Jeffrey Dahmer in one of them, which is very creepy, and I feel bad. And I'm like, you know what? You could have made him look like anything you wanted. This is all really just an exercise in futility anyway. So
whoever did that just was like, he drinks in high school. I got a perfect picture for him.
This is perfect.
This is exactly
he must kill a bunch of people. So it's rough, man, on the family here, but. This whole time, as you can imagine. I can't imagine your kid's missing for 2 days.
Yeah.
Now we're through this. Years go by, Jimmy.
Christmases.
Years.
Gone.
Christmases. 1994 comes along. Okay. Troy Culver gets back into Job Corps in Eastern Washington.
Perfect.
It's in his psychological profile here. He admitted he has a drinking problem, and he said that when he's drunk, he becomes, quote, a mean, angry person who likes to hurt people.
Jesus.
So that's a good guy.
Yeah.
That's a nice psychological report there.
That he hurt somebody, but then he gets fucking angry and violent when he drinks.
That's it, man. 1996, police finally, and we'll talk about where it came from here. Lincoln County Sheriff's Detective, a guy named Pete Peregrine, he, for some reason, takes a look at this file. It was just a standard review of old files. He must have been bored that day. And he said that Forsgren and others hadn't been interviewed, so he goes and he tries to interview these people. He finds Eric Forsgren. The Forsgren says the same story. They found girls on the beach.
By the way, they call him Foreskin, for sure.
He gets foreskin. You know he's Eric Foreskin. Hey, Eric Foreskin.
They just call him Foreskin.
Yo, Foreskin.
You're goddamn right they do.
Know he is,
Every time you've said it, I've gone Foreskin.
Foreskin, man. So he tells him the same old fucking story. Girls and football on the beach and blah, blah, blah.
And detective, don't call me Foreskin.
yeah. And he said, Forsgren even said, Forsgren even said that he never even thought about really Walter. He just figured he ran away. Whatever. It happened at the Job Corps, I assume here. So this Peregrine just took the notes of this and added them to the file. So just building the case file. He does note the Emma Beller thing, and he doesn't talk to Emma Beller, though. He just kind of lets it go again. That was 1996. Okay. Nothing happens again till late 2001.
Okay.
Troy Culver is 31 at this point. He's in trouble for assaulting a woman. A woman named Tanya Hall.
Weird, this pattern keeps evolving.
It's weird, right? She says about him, quote, he tortured me. It's not great here. Apparently, she worked for an escort service. And I guess Culver called and wanted her to come dance for him. She told him there was no sex. He said that's fine. And then when she walked in the living room and set her purse down on the couch, she turned around and Culver was holding a shotgun to her head and told her not to scream or he would kill her.
Jesus.
He made her take off her clothes and yelled at her to hurry up, the whole thing. He had a gun and a roll of duct tape, which is
it slow.
Yeah, no.
Get it off, quick.
Now, he said he was going to kill her. He handcuffed her. He locked her in the bathroom. He assaulted her. He rifled through her purse. He did bad things to her, basically. Sexual assault, all these different things. And then he said he'd kill her if she called the cops. She called the cops. Smart. He didn't kill her.
Wow.
What they did was they arrested Culver instead, which what happens if you call the cops and say someone assaulted me. Hopefully, if everything goes right. They found the gun he used. They had forensic evidence on him. Culver was complaining that to the cops that he was a drunk and his wife left him because he was drunk and the whole deal.
That's a good time to rape a fucking escort. What a dick.
He says the sex with her was consensual, but he's charged with first-degree rape.
Good.
She says, Hall says, quote, I was terrified beyond expression. I didn't think I was going to make it out of the apartment alive. It was horrible. In fact, the worst experience of my life, which it honestly sounds like it.
That's one story. Then the other story is it was consensual.
It was consensual.
It was somewhere in between?
No.
It was
horrible.
It's definitely
worst
her story.
Experience of my life. For that takes Trump.
It's definitely her story.
Normal.
Right.
So 3 months later, though, they dropped the rape charge against Culver. He pleads guilty to third-degree assault and unlawful gun possession. This sounds like they told her, look, honey, you're an escort.
Right.
So
they're not going to believe you.
No one's going to believe that you said no sex.
It's so fucked up.
You fucking know that's what happened.
So fucked up.
I mean, it is 2004, but it's still probably what happens.
I understand why they're saying it because the majority of civilization.
Well, then bring it in and figure it out.
Let's give it a shot.
Let's least
flip
figure
the
it
coin.
out. Yeah,
let's play flip coin and see.
I thought that's what court was.
Right.
We all going to get together, lay everything out, everybody's sides, and then we'll decide what we think is true. I think that's the whole point here.
We'll talk it out.
So anyway, he ends up pleading guilty to third-degree assault with an unlawful gun possession charge and gets 24 months plus community supervision. He is not required to register as a sex offender.
What?
This fucking lunatic after that. The rape charge was dropped. It's just assault.
Oh, he's a fucking menace.
Now, let's talk about March 2004, somewhere far away.
Okay.
Alabama.
Okay.
All the way over in Alabama.
Is that where Emma lives now?
No, this is not. This says these people we're going to talk about have nothing to do with any of this, but it's something very, very, very important that goes on here. Alabama deputies here in Alabama, they arrest a Marine, a discharged Marine, who they suspected of molesting a bunch of 16-year-old boys.
Jesus.
Okay. They search his home. They get his computer. They find porn and news clippings and flyers about missing children, including Walter Ackerson.
What?
Now, they looked and found everything. They found no records tying him to Oregon at all, this guy, but because he was just a guy who collected missing kid things because he was a fucking creep. But what they ended up doing is because of his name was on there, his name got circulated to Oregon, and so the file ended up on a fresh detective's desk.
Fantastic.
A guy named Mark Meester, a guy who actually does his fucking job.
Great.
This guy, just a newly promoted detective actually here, and he's looking over everything, and he's looking at this case going, holy shit, what is going on? They didn't talk to anybody. They didn't force questions. This kid, they just took his word for it. No push to isolate the three suspects. No challenge of their stories.
Right.
They didn't say, hey, separate these three idiots and get them to tell on each other like you do, like on the fucking wire. Well, then never mind. So, yeah, like you do. No one talked to at all. And they talked to 5 years later. They talked to the one guy, the foreskin. And now this Jeff Callaghan, no one's talked to him at all. No one talked to Walter Beller. It's a bunch of fucking... This is insane.
Right.
No search for the bridge. Emma Beller, sorry. No search from the bridge.
Right.
No physical evidence from the Job Corps site. No forensics.
The ending
nothing.
in the investigation into the question, could he have been thrown off the bridge? They just said probably not.
Yeah, they were like, we don't think so. I don't know. It's possible, but nah.
How many running backs have stabbed their wives? So, I mean, if you hear of one that does it, then do you go probably not?
Probably not. That's perfect. So December 2004, he goes and finds Eric Forsgren.
Yeah.
Well, let's go find Forsgren and talk to him. He's easy to find because he's in the Multnomah County Jail.
You bet he is.
Forsgren, when they interviewed him, he said, I can't believe that guy's still missing. What are you talking about? He said, I don't know what you're talking about. I figured he said
he should have turned up by now.
Skipped out of camp. They said they hitchhiked up to Newport, and, they said that he called it, they shoulder tapped a guy who bought him beer. They were like, we'll give you $5 if you buy us beer. So they got a homeless guy to buy him beer.
Yeah.
He says that Culver and Walter had argued. Foreskin couldn't remember why. He just said after the argument, they saw some girls on the beach. They went down, they played some football, hung out with the girls, and left Walter with the beer. And Walter was acting like a jerk and all that sort of thing. When they came back to look for him, he was gone. So they said they always just figured him for a runaway. Quote, kids ran from Job Corps all the time.
Yeah, but
Makes
from
sense.
Job Corps, they run with their shit. They don't
With their
run
shit.
from
Drunk
dudes
from
on
the beach.
Right.
Yeah. So he goes on. He calls Karen in March of 2005 and tells her the case has been reopened.
Nice.
He said that there's never really been an investigation, he told her. I don't know what to tell you except that no one ever did anything and I'm trying my best.
Meester's got it under control.
Meester's like, dude, I'm sorry that they fucking didn't even look at this.
Yeah.
Next, they go find Troy Culver, who lived in Prineville.
Isn't that crazy, by the way? The other dude is in a county jail somewhere,
and
locked
Culver,
up on
this guy's
and this fucking nightmare is just running the streets somewhere.
By the way, there's another guy who's not him with the exact same name, who lives in the exact same town.
Oh, my God.
Who is just as big of an asshole.
Really?
And I'm like, how is this not the same? And they look the same, but they're not the same guy.
Wow.
I don't know if it's like a cousin with the same name or something, but he's beating the shit out of his wife. There's all sorts of crazy shit, but it's not Culver. We know for sure. In a second, I'll tell you why. So Culver says he didn't know he was still missing Walter. He remembers Job Corps thing. He said, I remember his mom came in here and she was all upset. I don't know anything about it. No big deal. Tells the exact same story. He also adds one other thing. He says, yeah, I heard from one of the kids that Walter, they saw Walter come a few days after they thought he disappeared and come pick his stuff up and left. So he tells the cop that. But he said, I don't think I ever argued with him. I don't remember that at all, the part that Foreskin said. So Callaghan here next. He goes and talks to Callaghan. Callaghan lives in Washington State. Talks to him. He was surprised that Walter was still missing. Same thing. Said he couldn't remember much. Said he went to the beach. Exact same deal here. So then he goes, he's like, okay, no one is cracking on this. Let's try Emma Beller again in Colorado. So he goes to Emma Beller, talks to her. She said she remembered that she was at Job Corps. She remembered Ackerson was quiet. She said she never dated him, no matter what the file said. She said she didn't even remember that he disappeared. She said she was sorry she couldn't remember anything else. Sorry, basically, just nothing. I don't even remember what the hell happened, which is insane. If you had a guy that you knew that disappeared, I remember people. That's just silly. So after a year of this, basically, he said he called up Karen. He said, look, I'm sorry. I don't know what else to do.
I can't get any more information.
He said all available leads have been exhausted at this time, and it's going to be returned to the archives.
Oh, boy.
So that's it. Yeah. That's it. Case closed. He said can't do anything else about it. Jesus. That's it. Justice not served. Sorry.
What the fuck?
Sorry. Are you kidding me? Do you think I'm going to do that to you motherfuckers? No. No. This is small town murder, goddammit.
What the shit
happened?
We're
going to get no justice? Sorry, he's missing. Never found out. He might have ran away. Who knows?
Right.
No, let's find out what happened here. August 4, 2009, Troy Culver is at his parole officer for his regular visit. His parole officer's name is Ann Hawkins. He's a registered sex offender by this point because in 2007 he's convicted of encouraging child sex abuse and sentenced to 21 months in jail.
What an asshole.
Also has committed burglary and another horrible assault in addition to the one that we already heard about. So, nice guy. At this point, he's out of prison and under the parole officer's supervision, and he's in drug treatment, and they think he's making progress and everything else. Part of the 12 steps is atonement, as you might know, admitting your past wrongs, apologizing, all that
He's
sort of thing.
He's committed so much to this that he's going to atone.
He says he has something to confess.
Oh, my God.
The parole officer listens and then says, 1 second. That's interesting. Let me get a friend in here to hear this, too. You might want to say that again with Lieutenant Jimmy O'Daniel in the room here, Prineville Police Lieutenant here. He comes over, listen, and Culver said he beat Walter to death 20 years ago, is what he said. The police officer wrote in his report, Culver told me he carried the body to a bridge. He threw him over the bridge into the bay. So they bring Culver in for a video interview, and 2 more detectives come in. Still wanted to talk about it. That he's confessed, made a full confession to the whole deal. They pick Culver up. Meester goes and picks Culver up. He grabs a buddy of his, one of the other detectives, and goes and picks his ass up and brings him back. Culver again tells him the whole story.
Jesus.
Next day, tells the story more again. Now he's doing it. He says, finally, he said he'd been whiny all day at the beach. He got super drunk, and he said he was complaining about some girl or something that didn't like him or something like that. Maybe Emma Beller, who knows. He said he wanted to go back to Job Corps that day. He was tired of being there. He wanted to leave. Culver said he was super drunk, too. He was getting sick of Walter's bitching, basically. So he said what he did to quiet him down, he said he hit him, quote, again and again. He's got at least 50 pounds on him, too, by the way.
That'll do it.
He said again and again and again, 3 agains. He said he threw Walter against a tree, slamming his head on the tree. He remembered jumping on him more than once.
What the fuck?
At some point, Culver realized Walter was unconscious, maybe dead, and he panicked. He said he threw him over his shoulder and carried him up to the bridge. He said he couldn't remember whether the others helped, but he knows it was a lot of work. This is broad daylight.
Jesus.
Broad daylight. He's carrying a child's body over his shoulder to throw over a bridge. He said cars are flying by. Broad daylight.
Wow.
Normal. No one stops. No one goes, hey, what's going on there? Is that kid okay?
What the fuck goes on up there?
Nothing. So he took him all the way to the middle of the bridge. We've heard this is a half-mile plus long bridge. Again, why do you think I tell you things?
He walked 1,800 feet with a kid over his shoulder.
To get to here, how many cars went by him?
Jesus.
How many people saw this? He said he threw Walter over the edge thinking he was already dead, and he said he thought he heard the body hit something like a pillar or a cable on the way down, but couldn't be sure because he couldn't see under there. Wow.
Unbelievable.
He said that they all hitched back to Job Corps.
Yeah.
Culver's clothes were all bloody.
Yeah.
He said the other two guys were freaking out, and he told them to shut up and never talk about it again.
Yeah.
This is like some 50s movie.
You
Like,
guys
shut
saw
up,
what I
don't ever
just
talk
did.
about it again.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, if you see a guy
It's like
do
Stand
that,
By Me or
I don't want to
something.
be anywhere near him ever
No,
again.
no.
And I'm not saying shit.
He said they just threw the bloody clothes in the dorm laundry with a bunch of bleach, and they all got their story straight.
Yeah.
He wandered away. We never saw him
That's
again.
Job Corps.
And break. Let's go.
Wow.
And Job Corps.
Right.
Go. So, Jesus
That's
Christ.
how scary that bridge is. Everybody's counting every foot on it. White knuckling the steering wheel, not looking either side. Everybody's terrified of that fucking bridge.
And what he does, he has this. I would be. Now I'm especially terrified. He also said that he drove Culver to show him where things happened. He showed him where the fight took place in a little wooded area. He pointed out the bridge, the pillar where he thought he was thrown off. Culver agrees to take a polygraph test. He also agrees to tell his story in a recording. And this becomes important because basically it said, I told them everything in the story. I told the police everything, and you should tell them everything also.
Yeah.
He's recording this for Forsgren and Callaghan.
Wow.
Who Meester's going to go then talk to.
That's great.
Yeah, so he goes and talks to Jeff Callaghan, goes to talk to him there. Callaghan says he couldn't even remember Culver's name. I don't know who you're talking about. Troy who? Cole? I don't know.
Really?
I don't know who that is. Yeah, I'm
What
not
about
sure about
Foreskin?
that.
Oh, I remember that guy. For sure,
Now,
remember that guy.
He is an upstanding citizen at this point. He's been in the Washington National Guard for 14 years. He just returned from his second tour in Iraq.
Oh,
He's got a 10-year-old son.
He's got a lot to lose.
He repeats the old story again. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Saw Walter down there. He wandered off. I don't know shit. So Callaghan let him tell his whole story. Or I'm sorry,
Meester.
They let him. Yeah, the police let him tell his story the whole time, and then they go, "Oh yeah, hold on one second." Click.
Yeah.
And he plays Culver's message.
I got a new mixtape for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So they tell him, and so then Callaghan, he ponies up. He said, quote, "Troy and Eric beat him to death. I personally never touched him." Now all of a sudden he calls Culver TC, which is now he can remember him. All of a sudden he's got a nickname and everything. Interesting.
Old TC and Foreskin really let him have it.
Yeah. He said that Culver beat Walter mercilessly for 15 or 20 minutes.
What the fuck?
15 or 20 minutes, shouting taunts and insults the whole time. He said they'd gotten separated earlier, and Culver blamed Walter. He said that Walter had been psychotic. He said he took breaks in the beating.
My Christ.
He would beat him and be so tired he had to take a break for a while and then go back to beating him more.
Can you
That's
imagine
what a piece of shit
that,
this guy is.
How do you see that and not fucking go right to the police?
Forsgren joined in, apparently.
My Christ.
Foreskin joined in, kicking him in the midsection,
Jesus.
apparently. Callaghan said he denied touching Walter or helping throw him off the bridge.
Yeah.
He said that... it might have been, he said he wasn't sure, but it might have even been Forsgren's idea to throw him off the bridge. He says he doesn't even know if Walter was still alive at that point.
Jesus.
So, I mean, Jesus Christ, this is fucking crazy. He took a polygraph also. He failed the polygraph, Callaghan, but he said he blamed the whole... He said he blamed guilt, and he also said this was the worst experience of his life, worse than his tours in Iraq, is what he said.
Yeah, at least your tour in Iraq is supposed to be doing something good, you fucking jerk.
Then he finally says why, because he tried to say why he failed the polygraph, and then he finally just gives in and he says, quote, "I think it was my idea to dump him off the bridge." Ooh. He said he helped push Walter over, and he said he just pushed in the middle. All three of them did. Wow. So now we have confessions
and touching the body and helping and
all of this,
all of it. You're just as guilty. You fuck.
All three of them are pieces of shit. So they try to 2010. They try to contact Marin Taylor, the counselor that we talked about in the beginning. And
why'd you do this? Why'd you participate?
She basically said, "Huh." Culver, I don't know what you're talking about at all. I don't know anything.
Oh, those guys. I remember them.
She said, "I retired, and you need to talk to the Job Corps people that work there." Sorry. And now they go back to Forsgren. They talk to him again.
But they bought that shit? She gets away scot-free? No.
Callaghan, they go back to Forsgren now. They're talking to him.
Yeah.
He said that... he was drunk, but Walter was, he said he was like a puppy, Walter was. He was a tag-along kid. He said the girls kind of thought he was cute, like a little kid, cute, like, oh, look at him, he's so cute, type of deal. Yeah, they said he got drunk, and they said he acted goofy, kind of drunker than he really was to try to get attention from the girls, type of thing. So they end up playing the recording for this idiot, too.
Yep.
They end up playing the recording for this idiot, and then he stops and he goes... he said, no, I told you what happened. And then he stopped again, and he's sitting there trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then he said, and he stops, and he's like, shit, okay, never mind. He said TC got mad at Walter over something, hit him, knocked him down, kicked him in the head maybe 2 or 3 times, saying that Walter had lied to him. And he said everything was fuzzy after that, but Foreskin does remember pulling Culver away, saying that was enough, and Walter was bleeding. He said they left him on the ground, groggy but alive, and he was sure that he was alive. He tries to say, I didn't do anything. They said, did you help dispose of his body? He said, no, I didn't. And then he stops and he goes, no, just I didn't, and then he starts stumbling and he says, we knew Walter was dead, so... fucking whatever. Spill it, basically. Right. We know he's dead. Right. Foreskin wouldn't give in. He just said, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you here. So he agrees to take a polygraph test. He, of course, fails the polygraph test.
Yes.
They end up turning on the recorder, and they're like, listen to this. And Foreskin eventually says Walter got beaten up and carried him up the span of the Newport Bridge and tossed him over the side. They then talk about getting him up there on the bridge, and he said they threw him off and there was a sound. He said, quote, it was just bong. You could hear it, you know what I mean? Like if you toss a rock off a bridge and it hits the side, you can hear something hit it. So they threw this poor kid off of there. Man, that's awful, man. He said, he remembered it was afternoon, cars are passing. He had guessed probably 400 or 500 people saw them do this.
My God.
400 or 500, not one person was the slightest bit intellectually curious about why a small child was being carried bloody up to the fucking
and
the middle of a bridge.
Over the side of a fucking bridge.
He said it was like pack mentality, the kid kept saying, or the guy at this point. He said pack mentality. He said nothing was planned, it just happened. He said, quote, we didn't set out to beat the shit out of Walter. He said TC hurt that kid. Really, I mean, he hurt him. So the whole thing's a fucking. This is,
and they're all just going to try to blame TC, and they think they're getting away with it.
Well,
but
TC
not.
Was the aggressor. Yeah. That's the thing,
and
here.
that's fine.
I mean, so they're trying to say like, yeah, it was mainly him here.
Yeah, but you guys fucking participated way too much.
They talked to somebody later. They talked to a friend of Callaghan's, and he remembered hearing that Foreskin and the others talk about this back in the day. Said that Foreskin claimed that he slung Walter's body over his own shoulder, and he remembers doubting it because it seemed like a hard thing to do, but he said, that's what the guy told him.
Yeah.
They basically found out Foreskin said that he cheered along TC beating Walter up because that they have gotten separated and it was Walter's fault. Yeah. So Foreskin said he remembers cheering, kick his ass, he lied to us.
Wow.
So, I mean, I would feel horrible about that. I don't know if this guy does here. What they said was they didn't, this is ridiculous, man. They all knew that he was dead. Foreskin says that he remembers, he says he remembers a half hour of Walter being stomped from head to waist.
Jesus.
For a half hour. He says he remembers Culver hitting him with the tree branch.
Oh, my God.
He said he had stopped bleeding. That's how much they were beating him. He had stopped bleeding. Callaghan thought he was dead. He couldn't imagine anyone surviving such a beating. That was the whole deal. Fucking horrific, man. Fucking horrific, this poor kid. And you all thought that he was going to be the murderer, the junior, didn't you?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, he's going to be a scumbag. No, this poor goddamn kid. I feel terrible for him. So his remains are never found.
Of course not.
Now, Meester's got to go tell his mom.
Yeah.
He's got to go tell Karen about this.
I've got closure for you.
Yeah, he goes and tells Karen this. She said that she remembered, quote, he told us that Troy had confessed to the murder. They told Walter Ackerson Sr. also. Prosecutors talked to her, and they say, look, this is a 20-year-old case.
Right.
There's laws from 1990.
Right.
This means that you're probably looking at a 10-year max for Culver.
10 years.
10 years, and probably nothing for the other two.
My Christ.
Basically, it's best to try to get them to testify against Culver and get him in for 10. Otherwise, they're all going to stick to their stories and we're going to get nothing.
Yeah.
So that's the deal here. So July 2010, a Lincoln County grand jury indicts Troy Culver finally of 1 count of murder and 1 count of manslaughter for poor Walter Thomas Ackerson Jr. Both Foreskin and Callaghan are given immunity to testify against Culver.
Okay.
So that ends up happening. Culver is given a bail of $1.25 million, which he is not going to meet. I'm surprised they don't even, Callaghan and Foreskin don't even face charges.
Nothing.
Usually it's like you get charged and then you get no sentence,
right.
but they get no charges. This doesn't even go on their record.
This is terrible.
You hire one of these guys, you can't find out that, they killed a kid.
By the way, they
were
participated in a murder of a fucking 16-year-old.
And then covered it up.
Unbelievable.
Covered it up. They asked Karen about it, and she said this whole thing's bittersweet. She's happy that she sucks her kid's dead.
Yeah.
I guess happy that some justice is being done,
right.
but not all of it. A reporter asked her what she thinks of the other kids, of 2 of the killers going free. She said, quote, "Yeah, sucks, doesn't it? It's not justice." So you're like, yeah, what the fuck, man?
What a vile fucking end to this story. This is so terrible.
Yeah, and it's messed up because she has really her life, too. She's done a lot. She's the director of the Pierce County Housing Authority at age 59 at this point, and she's going back and forth to these court appearances, wants to see these people locked up, obviously. October 8th, 2010, Culver is sentenced to 10 years in prison with no chance for early parole. His earlier felony convictions of assault and encouraging child sexual abuse made that no parole for him.
Yeah.
So he's in there for at least 10 years. While he's in there, by the way, so he's going to get out in 2020. Look out for that. While he's in there, this fat bastard, because we don't have, I can't tell you where Culver's buried, or not Culver, where Walter's buried, because he's not buried anywhere. His body's still never been found, which is horrible.
God damn it.
Culver is in prison on prisoninmates.com looking for ladies.
Get out of here.
This fat fuck is looking for ladies. And I'm sorry if you're that fat or whatever, but this guy's a fucking asshole. He says he's a Christian on there. He's looking for women.
So Christian.
Want to hear what he has to say?
I do.
Hello, my name. Nobody write this asshole for a positive reason. Write him to say fuck you, but don't write him for
I don't even know if I want that. I don't want him to have
fuck him.
any
No attention.
fucking
Eat shit,
nothing.
Culver.
Die.
Hello, my name is Troy, and I'm an inmate at Snake River Correctional in Ontario, Oregon. I'm serving out a sentence for murder/manslaughter and would very much like to get to know people for friendships, possibly more. I enjoy lifting weights, reading, playing cards, sports, and bettering myself any way I can. I love classic rock like Led Zeppelin and scary movies like Hellraiser and any kind of generally fun activity. If you like what you hear and would like to contact me, please do so. Holy fucking shit. Then he has a common interest. Favorite food, favorite TV show. He loves seafood, and he loves Breaking Bad as a TV show. His favorite quote is, "I am who I am." Yeah, a fucking dick. A cocksucker.
Popeye is your favorite quote, you douchebag?
Favorite movie is Boondock Saints. I don't care if he didn't kill anybody.
Movie.
If he didn't kill anybody, I still want him in prison for 20 years for fucking liking that piece of shit.
I watched that movie a bunch of times, and I liked it.
People
and
who
then
are
I was
really
like,
into that
this
are
movie
assholes.
is a long way to go to save a fucking bar.
Lists his hero as his mother. Isn't that fucking nice? Fuck you,
I'm
Troy
sure
Culver.
Walters was too, you fucking jerk.
Asshole. And the other two guys seem to at least I don't know, but this Culver is the ringleader.
They're dickbags too.
They are. They're complete
fuck
assholes.
Them all.
They're fuck them all. No, they're complete assholes.
This story had so many assholes in it.
So many assholes.
Everything from
Chock
the dude
full.
in Alabama with the kiddie porn and probably
Chock full
running for
assholes.
office somewhere.
The Job Corps people, the cops up there, small town.
They're all assholes.
This is the ultimate why small town murders are fucking why there's bumbling, and there's bumbling everywhere, but this special kind of bumbling can only happen in a small town.
Unbelievable.
If you like that story, you crazy bastard, get on iTunes. You can give us 5 stars on there. It really, really helps us out on the business end. Help us out with that funky algorithm. Also, if that is not enough for you, please get on patreon.com/crimeinsports. You can make a donation there, or you can do it at PayPal, doing a one-time donation using our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com. Also, for all of your merchandise needs, you can head over to crimeinsports.threadless.com. A live show in Detroit Detroit.
Yes.
February the 16th with Dan Cummins.
Yes.
We have a stand-up show as the early show, and the late show is a live podcast.
It's going to be so fun.
Hybrid of Small Town Murder and Time Suck.
Something completely unique.
We're time sucking a small town murder,
So
we'll
great.
say. It'll be the three of us, and we're going to have a ball. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Right.
But tell everybody, as you heard from the podcast, we're comics, all of us. So, like, the audience is better for it. We want the audience. We come alive and kind of come out of, our shells, and not that we're in a shell, obviously. We pretty much say whatever we want, but the audience is good for us.
Right.
So it's going to be a great time. So have fun. Come to that. Also, 2 days later, get over to Boston.
Yes.
Crime and Sports at 4 o'clock. Small Town Murder at 7 o'clock, but that show is sold out.
Yes.
So we have added another show at 1 p.m. in Boston. So get those quickly because I don't know.
1, 4, and 7.
1, 4,
Every
and 7.
3 hours
I
you
am
get
going to
us.
be killed, base. I'm going to die that day. And finally, Phoenix, Arizona, March 25th at
That's the
Stand Up Live.
Yeah.
Get those tickets. There's links in the show description to all
Those
of
are
this.
selling like crazy, by the way.
Yes.
So thank you guys so much.
Thank you, and get those quick because, like we said, that's our hometown. So we know a lot of people. We have friends and family, and a lot of people are going to hog some tickets up. So get those now, so you don't lose out. But there's
We
people
got
coming
friends
from all
coming
over.
from Seattle,
It's
man,
pretty
from
cool.
Portland.
Yeah, thank you guys for that.
Bananas.
It's going to be awesome. If you would like to get a hold of the show, that is easy to do. You can do that on Twitter at Murder Small, Facebook at Small Town Pod, or like we said before, crimeinsports at gmail.com. And we have an amazing list.
Holy shit.
Of executive and just producers and amazing people who were so kind to us in the last week. And thank you guys so much. Jimmy, why don't you hit us with that list of superstars right now?
Yeah, man. Thank you guys so much for giving a shit about us and actually pushing this thing along. I really appreciate it. Jess Landgren in Australia and Chrissy Ann Castaldi continue to be the most amazing people.
You guys are the best.
They're so sweet to us. And
thank you.
Every week sending something that helps out tremendously.
Really?
The executive producers of the show. Thank you both so much. Dana Grayson sent another donation as well. Thanks, Dana. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Dana.
James Cook, Ewa Tarowski, Rob Madursky, Mariah Minhier in the Dutch Girl.
Oh, she's awesome.
I hate calling her the Dutch Girl.
The Dutch
it's not
Girl.
what she is.
That's her
She's
identity now, though.
Yeah.
I don't think she minds that. People
She's
just want an identity.
Thank you, Mariah. Appreciate you. Kristen S. Haggy? Hagge? Is double G's always throw me when there's just an E on the end. What is that?
Yeah.
Hag or Haggy? I'm
I don't
not
know.
sure. Regina Egan, I believe she's one of the Egan sisters. They're terrific ladies. I think they're both coming to Boston, by the way.
Cool.
Tyler Sheets, Carol Braun donated through Patreon and went over to PayPal.
That's so
Thank
amazing.
you so much,
Thank you,
Carol.
guys.
Laura
Thank you,
Christensen,
Carol.
the Ron Santos podcast. It's a Cubs podcast. I think it's Wazerski is the one that I'm ruining his last name, of course, but he hosts it. Go listen to it. The Ron Santos podcast. It's terrific.
Ron Santo.
It might be San Rantos.
Ron Santo's the actual player.
I meant like with an apostrophe S. Ron Santos.
Oh, like his podcast.
Right. I don't know what
I
it's
thought you meant
about.
like he was a Mexican
being
guy
honest,
named
I
Ron
haven't listened
Santos.
to it. I probably should. It might be the San Rantos.
You sure it's not a Hispanic guy named Ron Santos?
I think it's Sun Ranto. That's what it is.
Okay,
Sun
so
Ranto podcast.
Gotcha. All right.
See, I'm an asshole.
There you go.
That's what it is. The
That
San
makes sense.
Ranto. That's what it is. So
All right.
it's a Cubs podcast, and he loves the Cubs. He lives in Chicago. So go listen to that. No, what is that? Bully? I didn't write Bully Arietta, did I? Is that Rolly? What did I do? That's not nice.
It's your handwriting.
I'm ruining it. I think it says Bully Arietta.
Jimmy acts like somebody broke into his house and
then
wrote names down in a
for me.
strange
They're like,
hand.
read these, dickhead. Best of luck. Gina Testino, Bella Chadwell, Megan Strappick. That's the
she's
the
cool,
She's
yeah.
fantastic.
Boston girl.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Megan. Stephen Mace, Tyler Jorgen, Stacy Huffaker. She constantly sends
thank you.
a nice little donation.
Yeah, we
Stacey,
appreciate
you're
that.
fantastic.
Thank you,
Thank
Stacey.
Rachel Dooley, Caston Johnson. I think it's Caston Johnson. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it's Caston.
Caston, I think
Caston
so.
Johnson. He's in, I think, Texas.
Yeah.
I can't ever fucking remember. There's so many. It's hard to
It's hard.
keep it
Thank
all.
you guys for-
Sherry Bullock, Kat, it's Kart. She's in another country also, and I don't.
She's cool as shit.
She's terrific. Thank you, Kat.
She's
Ojala?
Iceland?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Iceland
yeah.
or Netherlands. I can't remember now.
It's somewhere fucking cold. I know
Somewhere
that. She's always
cold
wearing a
and
beanie.
Yeah, she's cool as shit, though.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Talina Jensen, Kevin McDonald, Rachel Smith. There are two Rachel Smiths. I don't know if they're the
wow.
same or if they're different.
Just common
Rachel
name.
and Smith could be
mistaken
yeah,
identity.
So easy. Yeah. I feel bad for you, Rachel, but not as bad as this.
Exactly. Yeah, crime and sports reference. Yeah.
James Feeder or Felder? Shit. I think it's Felder. James, you're a hell of a dude. And
we love you.
I have shit penmanship. Melissa Hoover, David Moe, or Mao, M-O-W. It could be either. Jin J. Jin Jai Leo, or Lao? It's probably Liao, right? L-E-O-W? It's an Asian name. I'm not going to get it right. I'm going to ruin the whole
you're
fucking
destroy
thing.
It.
Jin, you're
We're
terrific.
not ready for that. You're having a hard time with American names. Let's not get into the Asian culture.
Lynn Luthman.
Oh,
Lynn
cool.
Luthman, that's right. Corey Braux, that's the Rachel Smith. There's the other one. So if there's two of you, thank you both.
Thank you
if
both.
there's only one of you, thank you twice.
Thank you twice.
Right. Ashley Fleming, Emmy Dumont Guthier. She, I think, is in another country also. Canada. I got it. Yes. Thank you, Emmy. I appreciate it. That was a nice little donation from Canada. Dana Grayson, of course, I already said that. Elizabeth Armour, her last name is spelled like Under Armour. Thank you, Elizabeth. Ashley McNeely, Thomas William, and Nitch. Nitch. I think that's Nitch. It might be Witch. Anwich? That's awesome, actually. I hope it's Anwich.
Like a sandwich?
Yeah.
An Anwich?
And Niche, I think. Morgan St. Clair, Jonathan Elton, Justin Ryan. He snapped a screenshot of his donation on Patreon to me on Snapchat.
Awesome.
Thanks, Justin.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. That was a nice
That's
one,
so
too.
Cool.
Katie Garland Noble, Rachel War, or Rochelle War. I think it's Rachel War. Jennifer Shirley, Desiree Kissling, Rachel Kane, Denise Whitehouse. That's a kick-ass name. Julie Hinton, Frank Liggins, or Ligons, Jessica Britton, or Brittain. I think it's Britain. It's two T's, but it's Britain. Anyway, it's probably Brittain, and
I'm thinking it is.
I'm second guessing and forcing her name to be something it's not. Clinton Grout, Kristen Rose, Natasha Kale, Gisa Shantz, Brant Taylor. He's donated last week through PayPal and then signed up for Patreon. Thank you, Brant.
Thank you.
Janice Hill, Kiney Fryer. No, there's no. Her name makes
you wanted to put another end in there.
Kiney Freiner. It makes you want to say Freiner. Whatever. Kiney Fryer, Shelley Trollian. That's right. Rick Freeman, Troy Joseph Graham. Troy, and then Mahmoud Rahman. Thank you, Mahmoud. He donated a few weeks in a row and then came back for Patreon. Appreciate you. Jenny Nichols, Julie Smallman, Tay Smith, Kathleen Thill. She's terrific, by the way. She is here locally in Arizona.
Oh, cool.
She's going to come to our shows. I think that was true. I think I got that right.
Hopefully.
She may be somewhere else and coming to another show somewhere else.
I live in Michigan.
Right.
What are you
she
talking
sent
about?
us gifts and
thank you.
And she signed up for Snapchat because I said I was on Snapchat.
That's cool as shit.
And she said I
so
forced
cool.
a 40-year-old woman, whatever, to get
Thanks,
on Snapchat. Nothing
her.
Further than that.
Yeah.
I forced a 40-year-old woman to get on Snapchat.
Don't force women of any age to do anything. How's that?
Bree Ryan in Montana, they got the tattoo.
Hey,
she signed up for
what's
Patreon.
Up?
Thank you, Bree.
She's so cool. Thank you
Madeline,
for everything.
Melissa Freeman, and Kelly May. And then I just got a Twitter notification that somebody else just got another tattoo, and it says "Yay" down the side of her hand. Which
that's
is pretty,
cool as shit.
So many A's, by the way.
Yeah. Well, that's how we've.
It's amazing.
That's how we've put it on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you all so much for
now.
giving a shit about this. Not just giving a shit, but actually giving a shit. Like you guys are doing it. So thank you so much for helping us, and listening is huge, of course, but. This part is
we really do appreciate it.
You guys are amazing.
Thank every single one of you.
Yeah.
And what if one of these fine people wanted to get a hold of a fine gentleman such as yourself?
You can find me on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks. Follow me, play along. I love hearing from you guys. I love seeing your dog pictures, all of your cat pictures, all of your pig pictures.
Whatever you got.
People
Send
snap
pictures.
me goats. It's fucking fantastic.
I got goats snapping
goats.
at me. What are you
They're
doing?
everywhere.
There's fucking goats everywhere. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm like,
what about
I got
you?
a goat.
If they give a shit enough to contact you and tell you that you pronounced something wrong, how can they tell you?
They can get a hold of me at Jimmy P is funny, or you can try to spell my last name, copy and paste it from the show description. Would be a better, more advisable route to go. You can find me on Facebook, get me on Twitter, do all that. I don't do Snapchat because I don't have time for Twitter and Facebook. Never mind Snapchat. All it would be is me frustratingly looking for shit and typing and fucking
and then I get
getting
messages
angry at
all the
people.
time. Where's James's Instagram? And I say it's fucking not there. Best of luck finding.
I have one, but I don't use it because I don't have time. I just don't have time for it. I don't. I got this.
Right.
You can either talk. I can either talk more or I can do this.
Right.
So if I don't do this, you'll have no reason to talk to me anyway. So really, I got to do this first, and then hopefully find time for that. We'll work it out. But thank you guys. I do appreciate you guys. I do read all of your messages, and I try to get back to everything I can.
Right.
Try to jump in there from I'm taking 20 minutes, a break from this, and I'm going to dive into Twitter.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for doing that, though. We appreciate it. we can't do the show without you guys. And thank you so much, honestly, for everything you guys have done. It's been a year now of this show, and 51 first episode. So next week will be the 52nd, the 1 year. Right. So thank you guys for being cool with us for an entire year and taking us from nothing, from nobody. Is anyone going to listen to this to we're selling out live shows and adding extra shows in Boston?
It's amazing.
And it's all because of you guys, and we know that. Don't think for a second we don't know why that is. It's because of you guys.
Nothing goes underappreciated.
Not us. So until next week, guys, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.